Norwest banks. Come to expect the best.
Head over to Cherokee Power Equipment for Snapper's Fall Cleanup Sale. For a limited time, buy a Snapper walk mower and receive a free accessory valued up to $79.95. Or buy any Snapper rider or tractor and get a free trimmer, blower, or grass catcher valued up to $179.95. And don't forget Cherokee's preseason specials on all Snapper snow throwers. Cherokee has the complete line of Snapper snow throwers that can handle any amount of snow. Hurry into Snapper's Fall Cleanup Sale at Cherokee Power Equipment. Bargains like these won't last long.
We like stars at night and sunny days, home run hitters and touchdown plays. We like the great outdoors and our Midwest style, the Twin Cities and a hometown smile. The time is now, the word is go. Look at Minnesota, it's CCO. Look at CCO. Look at Minnesota, it's CCO. Look at CCO. I met a gentle ballroom queen in Memphis. She tried to take me upstairs for a ride. She had to pee me right.
Has a diamond in it. I gotta see.
Man, I hope she doesn't steal home plate.
So we're taking a break for baseball.
And P.S. I love you.
From the network of the 1992 Olympic Winter Games, next, CBS Sports presents the American League Championship Series.
It's a funny thing about baseball. It can turn your life around. It's a game of moments. And for every moment a hero savors, there's a moment another would just as soon forget. Well, last night's game was one we won't soon forget. It was a masterpiece in every sense of the word, and it began with some very big strokes.
3-2 pitching in the air, deep to center field. Kirby Puckett back jumps, it's gone off the ball.
There was a moment of shame and even a moment of pain.
And Carter comes up limping. He jammed his foot, and going into third base with a triple is Shane Mack. And Carter is down.
It was a game when Tom Kelly decided to go west. And as Toronto's bats fell silent, the Twins found new life at the plate.
They're going to wave Knobloch in. The throw is cut off. The play at the plate is safe at home.
Remember, we said this was a game of moments? Well, Cinderella, don't keep that pumpkin double parked.
Line drive deep to right field. It's gone, a home run.
And the best moments are still to come. Well, a picture postcard from us to you on this October night in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Just look at that, folks. Doesn't it just make you want to say, oh, Canada? Tonight, we are back at Skydome, a breathtaking monument to baseball and a splendid backdrop as the home team here prepares for a critical game. So join us. It's live, Saturday night, Game 4 of the American League Championship Series, the Minnesota Twins and the Toronto Blue Jays right here on CBS Sports. Pretty out there, isn't it? Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with Dodgers manager, my friend Tom Lasorda. We've been eating pasta here, eating all day, watching ball games. Any place you'd rather be?
Right in the dugout in those playoffs, Pat. That's where I would rather be. But unfortunately, we were not able to get there this year. But the old cry they used to have in Brooklyn, wait till next year. Well, that's what we're saying. Wait till next year.
We're glad you're with us, and welcome to you to our League Championship edition of Baseball 91. The American League comes to prime time tonight, and Jack Morris is nothing if not a big game pitcher. He won Game 1 in Minnesota. Folks, he comes to the game in a leather jacket and usually on a Harley Davidson. All right, Jack, we'll stop shooting you. There's Todd Stottlemyre, the workhorse of the Blue Jays staff, 26 years old. And He came to work smiling tonight. Tommy, with the Twins up 2-1 tonight, is critical for Toronto?
Very critical, Pat. They're playing in their own ballpark. You know, when you're in a 7-game playoff and you start the playoffs in the other man's park, you want to come out of it. The worst you want to come out is a split. They did that. Now they go home and they figure they got to win 2 of the 3 at home, and then they go back into the other park and at least win 1 of the 2. That's what you hope the least can happen to you. Right now, they've got to win tonight. This is a big ball game for the Toronto Baseball Club. If they lose, they're going to have to do the impossible and win 3 games in a row. That is very, very difficult to do in the playoffs. So Toronto has to play hard. This is, without a doubt, a big ball game for the Blue Jays.
We'll put that big in capital letters with more on tonight's Game 4 matchups. Let's check in now at Sky Dome with Dick Stockton. Dick?
Pat, here's a guy, Joe Carter, who, no better way to put it, played on sheer guts last night after he got hurt. Tell us what happened in that 5th inning with your ankle.
Well, after Shane hit the ball to the right field, I tried to elevate myself off the wall by stepping out the wall. And when I jumped with my right foot, I was at a particular bad angle. Once I hit the wall with my right foot, it kind of gave way on me, kind of snapped on me, and the ball went in and out of my glove. I couldn't squeeze it, but I came down, I hobbled to get the ball. But right then, I thought maybe it was broke. But, you know, it's just a really bad sprain, and I'm able to play today.
Going to be the DH, and it's a game you need.
Well, it definitely is. This is a very important ball game. We don't want to go down 3-1 in our own backyard. So we've got to go out there, and I know if I get hurt, you know, I've got the whole offseason to recuperate.
Joe Carter over here. Right now, let's go over to the other dugout, and Jim Cott.
I'm with last night's hero, third baseman Mike Pagliarulo of the Minnesota Twins. What was your night like last night? You sit on the bench for 3 hours, you go up and look at one fastball, and you're the hero.
Well, I think it was basically just hitting off the bat and tee in the runway and trying to stay loose the best I can. I was pretty much watching Randy Bush because he's one of the best pinch hitters around, and, you know, I was just following his lead.
Now, tonight you're going to see young Todd Stottlemyre. You faced him before, and what kind of a challenge is that?
Well, we went over some films earlier in the day, and, you know, he's really tough. He's got some real good pitches, and, you know, we just have to do our best against him, and hopefully he'll, you know, hang some pitches and leave some pitches over the middle.
Looking for another hanger or one over the middle. Last night's hero, Mike Pagliarulo. That's the story from Sky Dome. Let's go back to Pat O'Brien.
All right, Kitty, thank you. A lot of smiles from Pags there after that performance last
After all, he's Italian.
Normally, Tommy, this would be hockey night in Canada, but baseball has a long, if unheralded, tradition north of the border, and we'll have that story for you as Baseball 91 rolls on like the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. You're on CBS.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 American League Championship Series is brought to you by Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai, makers of the Excel, Scoop, Sonata, and the brand new Elantra. And by The Gap, classic clothing for every generation.
There I go, there I go, there I go, there I go. Pretty baby, you are the soul who snaps my control. Such a funny thing, but every time you're near me, I never can behave. You give me a smile and then I'm wrapped up in your magic. There's music all around me, crazy music, music that keeps calling me so very close to you.
All right, this car is going to shake up the entire industry. The new Elantra. A sedan, so well built and tested, it comes with 2 years service and maintenance free. But all you pay for is gas, which makes the idea of owning anything else seem, well, a little bit shaky, huh? The new Elantra from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
Power Stick antiperspirant. It gives a man what he needs to excel. Power. Control. Power Stick. Stroke per stroke, 50% more power. 50% more odor and wetness fighters. 24-hour control that ordinary deodorant sticks just can't beat. All day, all night. Power Stick for 24-hour control.
You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure out why people like Wendy's Super Value Menu best. We've got 9 delicious choices, just 99 cents each. Like our new Caesar side salad and Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe. Look, our Big Baked Potato is a meal by itself. And our junior bacon cheeseburger comes with 2 strips of bacon. Sometimes I wonder why other places don't offer as much. I guess you have to be a rocket scientist to figure that out.
Now get 9 delicious choices for 99 cents each on the Super Value menu at Wendy's.
Grandpa, how many outs?
2, would be 3.
3? What's the count?
5.
You 3 too, Grandpa.
That's what I said. 5.
Brooklyn Bridge slides into a new time Friday at 8.
Welcome back to Baseball 91. Believe it or not, this year, over 4 million fans watched baseball here in Skydome, and youngsters and oldsters alike are adding to that record tonight. You know, Canada has a long tradition of baseball, and as Leslie Vista reports, the Blue Jays are trying to turn over a new leaf in this series, a maple leaf.
Most Americans are under the impression that baseball didn't come to Canada until the late 1960s and mid-70s, when Montreal and Toronto were admitted to the major leagues. But in fact, the great American pastime has been played north of the border for more than a century.
Organized baseball came to this area in 1876 with the Canadian Professional Baseball League. Alfred Spalding visited Toronto in 1876 and suggested that when the National League was looking for franchise, that Toronto would be a logical city.
Canada wasn't awarded a major league team, but it did field a minor league club. Among teams visiting Toronto in 1914 were the Providence Grays, where a 19-year-old pitcher named Babe Ruth hit his only minor league home run in Canada. Other Americans like Carl Hubble and Jackie Robinson used a Northern Passage before becoming household names in the United States. But now Canadians are planting their own seeds, hoping to raise their own crop of major leaguers. T-ball comes at an early age, as it does in the United States. But this past year, Canada entered its first team in the Little League World Series, fueling more national support.
Well, I think the future looks great for baseball in Canada and for the kids. Years before, you would find that the kids up in Canada would play 20 games a year, and there's no way that you can play 20 games a year and end up in the major leagues. Now with the NBI, the college program in BC, the boys out there are now playing something close to 100 games a year.
This past August, Ferguson Jenkins became the first homegrown Canadian player to be inducted into baseball's Hall of Fame, an honor that has certainly been prized by Canadian baseball fans.
As a Canadian, I'm really proud of the fact that I am the first Canadian. But I think the nice thing that happened to me is that I had a lot of nice people helping me, and I was pushed in some respects. But I knew that with that added help, they wanted me to be successful.
No, baseball is not about to displace hockey as Canada's #1 game. But isn't it ironic that this past year, Minnesota and Pittsburgh, 2 American teams, competed for hockey's Stanley Cup? Maybe it will be Canada's turn to capture the championship of America's national pastime.
It's fun to watch that. You could have been in that piece. Montreal offered you the job in '76.
1976, John McHale offered me the job. I was third base coach for the Dodgers. I turned it down. My loyalty, devotion, and dedication to the Dodgers was stronger than anything.
Earlier today on, we got the Dodgers in for you. Today here on CBS, you saw the Atlanta Braves jump to a 2-1 lead in the National League Championship Series with a resounding 10-3 win. Now, after the game, Tim McCarver sat down with Pirates manager Jim Leyland.
Among the sunflower seed shells and the empty bat racks, we're interested in the manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Jim Leyland's reaction of the last 2 days. Your baby's born yesterday and then today.
Well, you know, the one day was great. It's still a great day, but we didn't really look like a very good ball club today. My emotions are fine, Tim. You know, fortunately, it was just one game. I wasn't very proud of the way we played today. Not that it was 10-3, but just the way we played. I thought we looked a little sloppy. We didn't check a couple guys when we were playing behind them. We let them sneak a couple, although we thought the one guy was out. But that's neither here nor there. We just didn't look like a real sharp team.
Jimmy, without putting the rap on any one player, are you concerned about Barry Bonds and his performance?
Well, I don't think it does me any good to be concerned right now. I know he's a great hitter. He may be pressing a little bit. I don't know. It's really probably a better question for him, to be honest with you. He drove in a lot of runs during the season. He's a great player, great hitter. He may be pressing. I don't know.
Your pitcher tomorrow?
Randy Tomlin.
And how about Monday?
Well, it's still up pending on Drabek. We're not sure yet, Tim.
Let's go to Andrea Joyce now.
Thanks, Tim. I'm with Sid Bream, 3 for 5 in this series, a 3-run homer today. Do you get the sense that this team is ready to launch into a long winning streak again?
Well, I'm not going to sit here and make any predictions. I mean, we're far from over with this thing. I mean, Pittsburgh has a great team, and it was just good to be able to come out and score some runs finally.
How did you guys get the offense going today?
Well, I mean, you know, it's no special thing. I mean, John Smiley's a very qualified pitcher, and I don't know if we got geared up a little bit more for him or what, but they came out and started swinging the bats.
Congratulations, and that's the story from here in Atlanta.
All right, Andrew, Tim, thank you. Is Pittsburgh in trouble?
Well, they are right now. They have to win tomorrow. That's a big ball game for them because they cannot get down 3-1, and that's a very big ball game for them. You know, last year when they played Cincinnati, they had the left-handers Jackson and Browning, who changed the Pittsburgh team around. I think that's what's happened right now when Avery pitched against them. They beat Glavine, but they're going to see 3 left-hand pitchers for the next 3 days. They better be ready. Bonds has got to hit for this ball club. He is an outstanding ball player, and he's got to hit. And, of course, I think that Justice is one of the premier hitters in the game today, and he started to hit today.
Now we know why Van Slyke told me last week he'd rather play the Dodgers than the Pirates in this one. We'll have that Game 4 of the NLCS for you tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern. And we'll continue here with tonight's primetime merriment right after this. Stay with us.
Okay, we took the whole idea of car ownership and gave it a new twist. The new Elantra. A sedan so well built and tested, it comes with 2 years service and maintenance free. About all you pay for is gas, which makes owning anything else seem, well, a little bit twisted, huh? The new Elantra from Hyundai. Yes, Hyundai.
And do the twist. Oh, snacking isn't hip without a real cheese dip. That's cheese snack.
It's a fact. Cheese makes great snacks. So visit the cheese snack shop at your store.
If you want to top this, add a slice of Swiss. That's a cheese snack fact.
Alka-Seltzer's laws of indigestion. Law number 13. After a good party, any part of the body that can hurt will. For heartburn with headache, you need Alka-Seltzer because there's no law against fast relief.
I'm not going to buy just any tire. Before you buy new tires, test these first. New Bridgestone road handlers from Sears. Drive them anywhere for 1,000 miles. If you're not convinced new Bridgestone road handlers are the best tires you've ever driven, Sears will replace them free.
When they say it's guaranteed, it's guaranteed.
From subcompacts to vans, Sears has a Bridgestone road handler backed by lifetime free replacement.
Who's going to back it better than Sears?
Come on over, baby. Whole lot of shake.
Over the past 5 years, more people switched to Glidden than any other paint. Now, if that isn't the ultimate test of quality, we don't know what is. Glidden, a better way to paint.
And right now, quality Glidden paints are yours at terrific savings during our NFL Super Sale. So hurry down to your nearest Glidden dealer and pick up America's favorite paint at NFL Super Savings.
Glidden, a better way to paint.
When little Emily's left home alone,
How could you do that?
don't tell Mom if you can't find her.
Is she sleeping?
She was the last time we saw her.
Evening shade. Then, will a poker night at the Majors boost morale?
Nothing's stopping us from raising a little hell.
Hi, General. Want to play Barbie?
Meet your dad Monday.
All those who love great comedies, say hi.
Those of you out there who share a name with a famous person will identify with our next story. I mean, I'm going through life with the late great actor Pat O'Brien's name, and folks still tell me, Pat, I loved you and Knute Rockne, or say hi to Bing Crosby, so I can imagine how a couple of Minnesotans must feel. So let us meet Scott Erickson, Minnesota's new young upstart.
This is Scott Erickson.
That's right, this Scott Erickson is a front office suit.
I was driving my car, and, you know, the baseball season was almost over, and I was all of a sudden they're saying, yeah, Scott Erickson's on the mound tonight. And I look at my radio, doing, what? I'm on the mound tonight?
In some ways, though, we discovered an advantage to having a Minnesota twin.
What would you think if this other Scott was out, like, signing autographs? I should save you some time.
Yeah, I'd rather you did it than I did.
Another day at the offices of Erickson and Erickson.
Catch us? You throw it? No.
As always, the check's in the mail, and as always, there's a bit of a difference.
We get your paychecks mixed up? I wish we did. Yeah, it would be nice. I don't know, we get some of the other mail mixed up. I get a lot of his fan mail, which is a lot more interesting than my mail, that's for sure.
We used a Who on it. We should have used a couple of Frank Sinatra albums in that. I should have goofed up on that one. Our CBS Sports coverage of the American League Championship Series will continue after a message and a word from your local station. They're getting ready for the game.
Pat O'Brien takes you around the NFL.
A usual commercial-free mix of sex, lies, and videotape with a smattering of rock and roll.
On the NFL Today.
This is CBS.
What do we have for sports on CCO? So, grab some couch and load up on the popcorn.
For sports, stick with Channel 4, and you won't miss a thing.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. I dream I move. I dream I groove.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
Aisle 2. It's for you. Hello?
Mrs. Ward, this is TCF.
Yeah?
If you could change the way banks do business, what would you change?
Put them in more convenient places?
Such as?
Right here at Cub Foods. And then you could be open 7 days a week.
Thank you, Mrs. Ward. Oh, nice sweater.
Oh, thank you.
TCF, banking the way you want it.
Fixing the Past. Sunday night at 10 on Channel 4.
Time now to take you out to Sky Dome and our CBS Sports commentators, Dick Stockton and Jim Cott. Gentlemen, have a good one.
All right, Pat, thank you very much. And, of course, in looking back at last night's 10-inning thriller, there are always a couple of little plays that turn the game, one for each team, Jim Cott.
Boy, especially with these two teams, and one happened in the 6th inning. Chuck Knobloch at second base, and third base coach Ron Gardenhire really gambled on this play. Joe Carter has a very accurate arm. He decided to challenge it. The throw was slightly offline, and you'll see Knobloch's head first slide just avoid the tag of Pat Borders. That was a big play. That got the Twins on the board. Then Roberto Alomar with Joe Carter in the on-deck circle, knowing that a sacrifice bunt would take the bat out of Carter's hands. Cito Gaston decided to do it anyway because Carter could not swing the bat. That was a big play. The Twins got out of that inning and won a close one.
Jays are down in the series. What must they do to get back and draw even?
They need a big effort from Todd Stottlemyre. The bullpen has been asked to pitch a lot of innings in this series. They need about 6 or 7 innings to keep Minnesota down. And Jack Morris has a lot of trouble in the early part of the ball game. That could be crucial.
Okay, for more on Jack Morris, let's go to our third colleague, Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Dick, much has been made about Jack Morris pitching on 3 days rest and the fact he has a head cold. Well, he dismisses both of them. On the pitching, he said what he loses in velocity, he gains in control. And on the head cold, he said it would only be a problem in the late innings. He might feel a slight weakness in his legs. The situation here is that Jack Morris feels he doesn't want to hear about the fact that he used to ride a motorcycle to the day games in Minnesota. When I asked him, is that how you caught a cold? He said, don't even talk to me about that. So we'll be back in a moment with the starting lineups.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 American League Championship Series is brought to you by Lexus Luxury Automobiles, the result of a relentless pursuit of perfection. Pop Secret Microwave Popcorn. Perfect popcorn is our passion. And by Bud Light. Everything else is just a light.
This royal throne of kings, this happy breed of men, this earth of majesty, this little world.
The airline that's uniting the world, United, brings you non-stop service from 6 U.S. cities to London's Heathrow and the land of poets.
This blessed plot, this earth, this realm, this England.
Come fly the friendly skies.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your home can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hello? This is Thelma downstairs. What was that?
Diet Dr. Pepper. It tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Can I try one?
I'll send George right down.
There's something new, you're gonna love it. From KFC, it's called the Go Bucket. Pick any kind, just $5.99. At KFC, it's Go Bucket time.
KFC introduces $5.99 Go Buckets. Enjoy original recipe, hot wings, or extra tasty crispy chicken. Choose any one for just $5.99.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC. Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
It's not easy to pull yourself away from a bowl of Kellogg's Raisin Bran. Those 2 scoops of raisins taste so good, you'll find that once you start, you can't leave them behind. It's those 2 scoops that taste too good to pull yourself away. 2 scoops of raisins, frozen flakes of bran. Get every bite you can. It's those 2 scoops that taste too good to pull yourself away. 2 scoops that taste too good in Kellogg's Raisin Bran. 2 scoops.
I know you've heard 100 pitches about drugs. Well, make it 101, because here's mine. The reason over 25 million Americans have tried crack and cocaine is because the high can be powerful and exciting. It's also frightening. In fact, it's like a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Right between the eyes. Real professionals maintain control even when others are getting wild. The next time somebody pitches drugs to you, make the right play. Walk away. Just walk away.
We're in a must-win situation, and we're all in it together.
Twins batting order the same as it was for the first 2 games of the series, with Dan Gladden in left field, followed by Chuck Knobloch at second. Kirby Puckett is in center field. Kent Herbeck back at cleanup at first base. Chili Davis, the designated hitter. Brian Harper starts again behind the plate after missing last night's starting role. Shane Mack will be in right field. Mike Pagliarulo, the hero, with the home run in the 10th at third base, and Greg Gagne batting ninth, the shortstop for the Twins.
And for Toronto in the field, a change because of Joe Carter's injury. Mookie Wilson will play left. Devon White in center. Candy Maldonado will move over to right field. On the infield, the same. Kelly Gruber at third. Manuel Lee is the shortstop. Roberto Alomar at second. John Olerud, the first baseman. And Pat Borders, as usual, does the catching. Right-hander, Todd Stottlemyre, son of Mel, will do the pitching.
And brother of Mel Jr., who's in the Royals chain. It's a family of Stottlemyre pitchers, and Todd Stottlemyre making his first start as the Blue Jays going with a 4-man rotation, the Twins with a 3-man rotation. And we'll see how that works out. Dan Gladden will lead off for the Minnesota Twins. He's 2 for 13 thus far in this series. And the Blue Jay crowd trying to get going here. Their team trails 2-1. First pitch of the ball game. Fastball fouled back for strike 1. Tim Welke, his first championship series. Behind the plate, Mike Riley, Jim McKean, Larry Barnett. On the bases, Mark Johnson and Rocky Rowe down the line. No balls and 2 strikes to Gladden. No starting pitcher has gone beyond 6 1/3 innings. We have seen tremendous work by the relief pitchers on both sides in the series.
That's why I think it's critical for both starters to give their teams a good 6-7 innings.
Swings at a bad breaking ball way outside, and Gladden's down 1 away.
Well, you see some swinging early in the count. Got ahead with 2 fastballs, and a very defensive swing by Dan Gladden on the sweeping breaking ball. This ball is way off the plate. That's the advantage of being ahead 0-2, getting a hitter to chase that.
1 away, and Chuck Knobloch, who has 6 hits, And that is the most ever by a rookie in any American League Championship Series. He's driven in a run as well and has 2 stolen bases to lead the Minnesota Twins, and the first offering from Stottlemyre is low. On deck is Kirby Puckett as Knobloch calls time. There's Kirby Puckett for only the 2nd time in the 15 games between the teams this year. The club that scored first did not win last night. Fastball is hit into the air. Center fielder Devon White handles it easily, and there are 2 gone. Two down, and Kirby Puckett, who has hit Stottlemyre pretty well, 8 for 24 in his career. The middle of the Twins order had been slumping with Puckett, Herbeck, and Davis. Kirby has 2 RBIs and has 3 hits in this series.
Got an interesting matchup. Puckett, for some reason, is a phenomenal first inning, first at bat hitter, and Stottlemyre gives up a lot of home runs in the first inning.
Ball 1. Stottlemyre allowed 7 home runs in the first inning. Crowd was a lot more into the game from the start last night than they are tonight.
A little apprehension tonight.
Taking inside, 2 balls and no strikes, and it seems to be the way Toronto fans are, because at Maple Leaf Gardens, where the National Hockey League Leafs play, the crowd kind of sits on their hands as well, and a lot of the coaches there would like to see more of a response from the fans in that arena.
You know, I think you find it the same in postseason play. Remember the electricity in the Minnesota crowd opening night, and then the second game was down a little. The same thing. Last night here was electric. Tonight may be a little more subdued.
Swinging at the 2-0 fastball, and it's 2 balls and a strike.
Mentioned Puckett's phenomenal success during the season. He's over a 400 hitter in his first at bat. Hitters use the videotape. Minnesota hitting coach Terry Crowley gets these guys ready for every at bat, especially that first one.
Three balls and a strike to Kirby Puckett with Kent Herbeck on deck. He'll be facing a right-handed pitcher tonight after being down in the lineup against Key last night. And there's a high chopper. Manuel Lee has the long throw in the dirt, and Olerud can't handle it. And safe at first base. That'll be an infield hit, I'm sure, for Kirby Puckett, as that ball was hit deep into the hole. And Olerud very nearly made the fine scoop play.
Puckett has lost a step from earlier years, but with the bouncy turf, look at the high bounce. Manuel Lee almost has to jump. And then the long throw in the dirt, Olerud cannot come up with it, but even if he had, I think Puckett has it tied, possibly beaten right there. He would have had that play tied anyway. Wayne Terwilliger helping to make the call.
Puckett's 4th hit of the series, and Kent Herbeck, the batter, and he hits a high chopper, bounced in front of the plate. Olerud will feed Stottlemyre for the 3rd out. There was a hit and 1 left, so the Twins don't score, and the Blue Jays come to bat in the 1st inning at the Sky Dome.
Every inch of the Lexus coupe was designed to exhilarate you, even when you're not moving.
If you're looking into faucets, Peerless means plenty. America's leading do-it-yourself faucet. In hundreds of styles and finishes. All made with solid brass valve construction. And all warranty for as long as you own your home. The best made, best back, do-it-yourself faucets in America. That's what Peerless means.
Think
we can make it?
We gotta try. It's got everything we need. Fuel, supplies.
I can smell the coffee.
Yeah, but how are we going to pay for it?
Sometimes it's worth going a little out of your way for a clean running gasoline that protects your fuel system. Conoco. Hottest brand going.
How does your morning show stack up? Probably not as well as you think. That's right. It would take 3 of the other morning shows to equal the amount of information and enjoyment you get from just 2 hours of CBS This Morning. I'm Harry Smith, anchor of CBS This Morning.
CBS This Morning, breakfast for your head.
And for the first time in the series, a change in the Blue Jays batting order, a lot of necessity. White leading off at center, Alomar batting second at second. Carter, the designated hitter with the bad ankle. John Olerud at first base is hitting cleanup. Kelly Gruber is at third, followed by Candy Maldonado. In right field, as Jim has mentioned, Pat Borders behind the plate. Manuel Lee, the shortstop, hitting 8th instead of 9th, and Mookie Wilson making his first start. He's an experienced postseason performer in left field.
And in the field for Minnesota, Dan Gladden in left, Kirby Puckett in center, Shane Mack in right field. Their usual alignment around the infield. Pagliarulo, last night's hero, at third. Greg Gagne, the shortstop. Rookie Chuck Knobloch at second. Ken Herbeck, the first baseman. Brian Harper back behind the plate tonight, catching the veteran Jack Morris. Jack Morris with still a good fastball. You'd call him a power pitcher, and a good fork ball, a slider, and he changes speeds a little more often at this stage of his career.
Pagliarulo, mobbed by the media before the game, is the hero with his home run. Remember, he only hit 6 in the regular season. Won the game with a 10th inning homer last night. Devon White, the switch hitting center fielder, leading off. 4 for 13. Jack Morris with a 5-9 record away from the Metrodome this year. Way in at third is Pagliarulo, and the first pitch is outside, ball 1. Swing and a miss on the curveball. 1-1. Fastball, fouls it out of play, a ball and 2 strikes.
Now he'll back off a little with 2 strikes, but he protects against that bunt early in the count. Still not making as much contact. That was one of the reasons California, I think, lost a little patience. As talented a player as there is, Devon White, still a rather big swing for a leadoff hitter.
Morris's 1-2 pitch, 2 balls and 2 strikes to White, who is second on the team and hitting against the Twins this year. He bat .350 against Minnesota pitching, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And it's grounded and gloved by Herbeck, feeding Morris for the out. One of the outstanding first basemen, Herbeck. One of the great competitors in the game is Jack Morris, and he's got a lot of pride.
I think it's just the pride inside of me. I want to do the best I can. I don't want to be embarrassed, even though I know at times I probably embarrass myself. It's just the way I get up for what I'm trying to do, and that is I just don't like to lose. Losing has never been fun for me, and I don't know how to handle it in a classy way, according to the public image of people, especially in professional sports. And that's okay with me because I learned to live with myself.
1 out, Roberto Alomar takes ball 1. Alomar was 2 for 3 in the first game against Jack Morris and is 5 for 10 career-wise.
He had a key word that he mentioned. Don't want to embarrass myself.
Another bounding ball to the right side. Again, it's Herbeck, but he'll make the play unassisted for the second out. The first 2 hitters in the lineup for the Blue Jays. Hit grounders to Herbeck. White scorched his. And here's Joe Carter. Carter did not try to run before the game, so he hasn't really tested it that way. He has an ankle that is heavily taped, almost like a cast, he told me. But they need him in the lineup. He hit the only home run for the Blue Jays in this series with 3 RBIs. And goes around for strike 1.
Looking for a first pitch fastball. Morris dropped down and threw him a little 3/4 slider. Surprised him.
One ball and 1 strike.
This is the play. Shane Mack hits the ball off the top of the wall, and right there is that right foot. Makes contact with the fence. That's where Joe turned the ankle. Played on nothing but determination for the next few innings. Finally had to leave the game.
1-1 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 2. Carter said before the game, I even thought it was broken for a while.
And you see him walk out of the box there. I mean, footwork is important to athletes, whether you're throwing the ball, fielding it, and especially hitting. He doesn't have the same good foundation tonight with that injured ankle.
The 1-2 pitch, swung on and missed, strike 3, and a 1-2-3 inning for Jack Morris as he gets Carter. We've completed 1. Here at the Sky Dome, there's no score.
Introducing the Bud Light Jaguar Racing Team. Catch it this season.
Let's go. I'm all revved up and ready to go.
How do we get the truck back?
Throw it in reverse.
Let's go.
A Motorcraft spark plug has to fire 500 times a minute. Over its life, that's a spark 5 miles long. Shouldn't you install that peace of mind? Motorcraft quality parts from Ford.
We can't win if you can't stop Ricky Henderson.
When something on your mind,
This could get ugly.
or something you eat,
Look at that jump.
gives you acid indigestion, it's time for extra strength Rolaids. Fast, 1,000 milligrams strong. Now that spells relief.
We all live with stress. Some people find it harder to deal with than others. And sometimes not only can stress lead to a headache, but it can, on occasion, also lead to stomach upset. That's when your choice of a pain reliever should be Tylenol. Doctors know Tylenol provides fast, effective pain relief, yet is easy on your stomach. Talk to your doctor. We can't avoid stress, but we can take Tylenol to relieve stress headaches. Tylenol, the pain reliever hospitals use most.
You never know when you'll need to investigate rental car rates, when relatives come to town for weekend getaways, or when your car's in the shop and you don't want to get taken to the cleaners.
Let's say you're looking for a midsize.
All right, you're looking for a midsize. May I see something in a compact?
Or you can really stretch out in this roomy Dodge Caravan. Its great low rate even includes unlimited mileage. For reservations, call 1-800-800-4000.
The action adventure sexy show you've been waiting for, Real Sexy, is coming Friday to CBS.
Hey!
The Palace Guard.
Tomorrow, it's the NFL on CBS, featuring the unbeaten New Orleans Saints as they travel to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles. Others will see the Phoenix Cardinals against the Minnesota Vikings or the 49ers and the Falcons. Check your local listings, and it all starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern, the last word before kickoff. And the first pitch to Chili Davis is a strike. As we start the second inning, no score. Davis 3 for 12 against Todd Stottlemyre. Curveball is in for strike 2, 0-2.
That's a good sign early for Toronto. Because Todd Stottlemyre early in the game has to get command of the breaking pitch and the changeup.
A good fastball.
You know, his season is he is either an extremely effective pitcher. He's pitched a lot of low-run ball games, or they knock him out early, and primarily it's because he doesn't have control of the breaking pitch early in the game. He becomes a thrower, not a pitcher.
Be catastrophic for the Blue Jays if he were knocked out early, considering the bullpen situation. Pitch misses, 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-1 against the Twins this year, and both of those victories were in the last week of the season. As Twins played 3 in Toronto and then finished the season 3 home against the Jays. On the outside corner, and Stottlemyre with the fastball gets his second strikeout of the game.
Chili Davis, a very selective hitter, will not chase a lot of bad pitches or corner pitches, and that's where Stottlemyre threw that right on the outside edge, knee high. Tim Welke, the home plate umpire tonight, as Rocky Rowe did last night, establishing that the knee-high strike is going to be called.
Brian Harper looks at a breaking pitch for strike 1. Stottlemyre looking sharp. Swings and misses on a nasty curve. No balls and 2 strikes.
That's one of those curveball on the first pitch, just sort of a here it is strike curve, and then a little sharper one once he gets ahead in the count.
Breaking ball, and you saw Borders set up on the outside corner, so the count is still no balls and 2 strikes, and Borders and Todd Stottlemyre have a very good rapport, especially good between those two.
And don't think that isn't important to a pitcher and a catcher. Being good friends and having a guy back there you have confidence in when he sticks those fingers down.
1 ball and 2 strikes. When Harper is behind the plate, opposing teams are able to run, but the Twins like him in the lineup because he's a 300 hitter as he fouls off the pitch and the count remains 1-2.
Talked about it before, what a playground type hitter Brian Harper has been. He's tough to strike out. You see him fight off that pitch, and he doesn't walk very often.
Nearly offered at it, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. With 1 out, nobody on base, Twins batting in the top of the 2nd inning in game number 4. Gene Tennis to the right of Cito Gaston. And a pop-up to the left side. Manuel Lee in short left field handles it, 2 gone in the 2nd. Earlier today, in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series, the Atlanta Braves thumped the Pittsburgh Pirates 10-3. Orlando Merced hit the first pitch of the game for a home run for the Pirates, and that was their last bright moment. Smoltz beat Smiley, and now the Pirates trail 2-1. Ground ball hit to the hole. Shane Mack, and a throw to first base is offline. And Shane Mack will be safe for the 2nd infield hit of the game by the Minnesota Twins.
Take note of this play. It's an interesting difference in the 2 shortstops tonight. Manuel Lee, more of an acrobatic shortstop. You see him throw the ball off balance like Tony Fernandez used to do when he was here. Olerud has to come off the bag just to block it. Now, if Greg Gagne gets a play like that, the Minnesota shortstop, you're going to see the old-fashioned plant the foot and try to get more on the throw. Lee made the decision, get rid of it quick. Not much on it, couldn't get it.
So a 2-out single, the same scenario we had in the 1st inning. And here's Mike Pagliarulo coming off his greatest day in baseball as he turned last night's game-winning home run effort in the 10th inning.
And shortest. Kind of like a field goal kicker, you know, winning the Super Bowl in the last 15 seconds. Sit around all day, get a chance to be a hero and deliver.
They leave those kickers alone on the sideline. I think he's got more friends on the Twins bench. One 1-0 the count to Pagliarulo. He's hit a home run against Stottlemyre in his career. 2 hits, one of them a home run. And there goes Shane Mack. The hit and run was on as Pagliarulo fouls it off, and the count is 1 ball and 1 strike. Line shot last night off of Mike Timlin in the 10th inning, the game winner for the Twins.
The Twins thought when they got Pagliarulo in the offseason he would be a power hitter with a low average. but he's become a low average hitter with very little power, except for that one last night at a very timely moment.
Timlin said it was a sinker that didn't sink.
That's usually where those end up.
1 ball and 1 strike to Paliarulo. Mack during the season had 13 stolen bases in 22 attempts. He has already stolen a base in this series.
See him looking at Wayne Terwilliger, the first base coach, just in case he's unsure of the sign. Runners will do that.
Diving back this time.
Most of the time and over the years, first base coach will wink at the runner if something's on.
Wayne Terwilliger, 66 years old. As Jimmy Reese is the oldest active coach with the Angels. Drive hit to left center field. Mookie Wilson is going back on the warning track, and he makes the catch to end the inning. Paliarulo with a solid drive to the opposite field, and Mookie, who started the season as a left fielder on opening day, makes a fine play.
Still hasn't lost any speed and judges the wall perfectly. I'll tell you, the ball continues to carry well here at Skydome.
Big catch by the Mook. He's been in these situations before.
The guys from Pop Secret tell me they have big news. Bigger is better. This is news. Think kernels, they tell me. Pop Secret has these new kernels. Fellas, don't keep me in suspense. What does this mean? They say their kernels pop up bigger, so they're lighter and fluffier. I say they even taste better. And that's news.
Pop Secret with new bigger kernels. Perfect popcorn is our passion.
Call me anytime with news this big.
A new arrival. A tire so special, it may last as long as you own your car. The new XH4. Congratulations. It's a Michelin. Backed by an 80,000-mile treadwear limited warranty. Michelin. Because so much is riding on your tires.
First, we created the LS400 luxury sedan. Now we've taken everything we learned and condensed it. Introducing the new ES300. All the performance of a sports sedan, all the luxury of a Lexus.
Power. Suspense. Drama. Baseball is many things, but in the end, baseball is nothing without you.
So we're asking you to plan ahead by choosing a designated driver who won't drink during the game. That way everybody has a good time and you get home safely. And that matters to us because we can't do it without you.
The preceding message was furnished by Major League Baseball.
No score. The Blue Jays batting in the second inning. Olerud, Gruber, and Maldonado facing Jack Morris. Olerud had the only RBI against Morris in game one. With a ground out, takes ball one.
Morris made that comment about, I don't want to embarrass myself. You'd be surprised. I know I experienced. You take the mound as a starter and you've been thinking about it for 5 days. That does go through your mind.
1-1.
Because you can go out there in the first or second inning and get knocked out. Believe me, it is embarrassing. Then you settle into about the third or fourth inning and begin to get comfortable.
In the air to short center field. Knobloch and Gagne there, and Gagne makes the catch. It looked as if Knobloch had called for it, but the shortstop makes the play. One away.
And you see Puckett and Gagne and Knobloch quickly communicating. Remember, in the Metrodome, the Blue Jays outfielders used the hand and arm signals because of the noise. See Gagne's lips moving. They're using the verbal signals, and with this crowd, Knobloch possibly did not hear Gagne.
One away, Kelly Gruber, the leading run producer, 4 RBIs so far in the first 3 games. Fastball down the pipe, strike 1. And a fly ball hit the left field. Gladden with good speed, got a good jump on it, makes the catch. 2 away in the second for Toronto.
A lot of times it's not where the pitch is, because Kelly Gruber can handle a pitch up here, but you see him have to stop his swing. It's a rare changeup. You fool a hitter with the changeup, not on the location, but on the change of speed. You destroy his timing. Gruber was out in front.
2 down to Candy Maldonado playing right field. All he's got to show for this series offensively is a run-scoring double in the first inning last night. Takes ball 1. Rich Hacker, the third base coach of the Jays, who was involved in a controversial play in game 1. And Mike Squires over at first. Just missed inside. Morris behind 2-0.
No surprises that these teams are so evenly matched that even the third base coaches, their decisions have a big part in who's winning these games.
Three balls and no strikes to Maldonado.
And I would think if he wants to, Maldonado will be swinging. He'll have the green light.
He had it, and a bounding ball up the middle. Tough play and goes through. Looked like one of the infielders might have been able to get a glove on it. Wouldn't have mattered. Maldonado would have been safe anyway. And the first base hit of the game for the Blue Jays.
Got the green light, but the pitch still in on the hand, so it wasn't a power swing right there. Gagne and Knobloch again confused. One of the two had a legitimate shot at getting a glove on that ball. I think they were fearful of a collision.
Second hit of the series for Candy Maldonado, and here is catcher Pat Borders. He too has been slumping, only 1 for 11. 2 down, and in the dirt, and there goes the runner. Harper blocked it in front of him, but in at second base is Maldonado, and that bounced in front of the plate. Wild pitch.
And if you look in that category in the American League, wild pitches and easiest to steal against, you'll always find Jack Morris's name there. Harper did well just to keep that ball in front of him. No chance to throw Maldonado on. That's because of that fork ball. Throws it very hard. That one was about a 54-footer.
Jack Morris led the American League pitchers, throwing 15 wild pitches. And the count to Borders is 1-0. Base hit to center field. Maldonado rounds third. Kirby Puckett's throw is cut off. The throw to first, safe at first, but the Blue Jays lead 1-0.
Stottlemyre's pitching a plus, and this a big plus. That's a breaking ball down in a way that Borders takes up the middle. We've talked about the Blue Jay lineup so top-loaded with White, Alomar, and Carter, and now they get production from the bottom end. Pat Borders, who's become their regular catcher. Maldonado scores ahead of Puckett's throw.
Last night, the Blue Jays stranded 7 runners in scoring position, but Borders cashes in with his first RBI. 1-0. Toronto. 2 hits after 2 are out, including a wild pitch which cost Morris, and here's Manuel Lee. He's looking for his first hit in this series. And frankly, Jim has been reluctant to swing the bat, and Pali Rullo is playing a bit in at third base.
From the left side of the plate, Lee has been a very, very patient hitter, almost like he has orders to take a lot of pitches.
A ball outside. swing. 1-1 the count to Lee. Expressed their displeasure with that call. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's because Lee moved his back leg. It's the fork ball. And he moved that back leg back. Hitters more so today than ever before. Pitches that are just on or off the corner, back off the plate. And oftentimes the crowd gets the appearance on the high pitches that pitchers are throwing at hitters. And they're barely off the edge of the plate. That was an example of Lee backing the back leg away, and the pitch was on the inside corner.
1-2 to the switch hitter. Fouls it back. Blue Jays have scored here in the second inning after 2 are out. They trail the Twins 2 games to 1 with Game 5 tomorrow afternoon. Foul ball down the line.
Typical game for Jack Morris. We mentioned his trouble early in the early innings. And you'll find a lot of great pitchers that depend on either a sharp breaking ball or, in Morris's case, a fork ball that have that same kind of a characteristic. Takes you a few innings to get command of it.
Orders the runner at first with 2 out. The 1-2 pitch and a big hop to Herbeck. Steps on the bag for the 3rd out, but the Blue Jays get a run and lead 1. We've completed 2 innings. Toronto leading.
Check this out. Ouch! I'm sick of dating. You gotta fake it. So much madness, you just can't take it. Hey, don't go through this. I know it feels good. While the best thing's always so misunderstood. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper and we want it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. The taste is made to order. We love it. Dr. Pepper.
On November 1st comes the motion picture event of the season. Dustin Hoffman, Nicole Kidman, Lauren Dean, Bruce Willis, Billy Bathgate. This film is not yet rated.
Dear Thompson's, I swear by Thompson's water seal. But recently, when it ran out, my son finished with another brand. Then it rained. What a difference. Thompson's beat it up, the other brand nothing. Thanks for a product you can believe in. Marvin Snoddy, Locust Grove, Virginia.
Power windows are just one of the many useful features you get with the extra value option package on the 1992 Toyota 4Runner. So is air conditioning, power door locks, cruise control, power side mirrors, and special chrome trim. Of course, up to $900 savings is a pretty nice feature, too. And just imagine what you can do with that.
Pat O'Brien takes you around the NFL.
A usual commercial-free mix of sex, lies, and videotape with a smattering of rock and roll.
On the NFL Today.
Tom Berenger, Charlie Sheen, and Corbin Burnson.
What league you been playing in? California Penal.
In the network television premiere, Major League Tuesday.
Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 American League Championship Series is brought to you by Toyota and their quality line of 1992 cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. The financial consultants at Shearson Lehman Brothers. You can get there from here. And by Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper is just what the doctor ordered.
This is Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. We're at the Sky Dome in Toronto, where 4 million fans showed up this year, and Pat Waters showed up in the second inning as his single up the middle scored Candy Maldonado to give the Blue Jays a 1-0 lead. You know, the bottom part of the batting order for the Blue Jays had not done much before tonight. The last 4 in the order had only a total of 3 hits in the first 3 games. In last inning, they had 2 hits.
Extra batting practice paying off. Gene Tennis, the Blue Jays hitting coach, out with Maldonado and Borders and a lot of the hitters trying to make some adjustments. in their swing and their approach.
The number 9 hitter, Greg Gagne, facing Todd Stottlemyre in the top of inning number 3. Ball 1 inside. Stottlemyre 5-3 lifetime against the Twins, but this year Minnesota hit .303 against him and hit some scorching line drives, so the record belies what the Twins did against him. Two balls and no strikes.
Interesting year for Todd Stottlemyre. Look what he's done in his quality starts, where he goes 6 to 7 innings and only allows 3 runs or less. The ERA a sparkling 152 and the team record 18-1, but he's had a lot of early exits, those 15 non-quality.
Fastball for a strike.
What all that normally tells you is that the early part of the ball game, as Jack Morris has the same problem, he has a little problem getting command of all those pitches.
Fouled out of play, but he's a manager's delight. He did not miss a start all this season and didn't miss a start last season either.
And in some of those starts, as Cito Gaston said, the bad ones, I wanted to rest my bullpen, and Todd kind of took one for the club. He stayed out there to take a pounding, give the bullpen a day off.
Gagne lashes a line drive to left field. Twins have a hit in each of the first 3 innings. This is the first time they've had the leadoff man aboard.
Greg Gagne continues to hit well in postseason play, gets a fastball, and he handles the low fastball rather well. And you see that one about knee high. Boy, good fundamental outfield play by Wilson. See him get in front of that ball and block it, make sure it didn't hop past him.
Here's Dan Gladden, top of the order for the Twins. Swings and misses for a strike. Gladden had hits in his first 2 times up in the series, but since then has gone 0 for 12. In the dirt, Borders blocks it nicely in front of him.
Not too difficult for teams that play Minnesota to tell what pitches Dan Gladden has difficulty with. Remember the strikeout in the first inning on that sweeping slider, and strike 1 tonight. A right-hand pitcher that can throw that slider down and away gives Gladden a lot of trouble. Might be one reason they try to hit and run here, get him to hit the ball the other way.
And he was going to the right side, although the hit and run was not on, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes.
And to guard against that, one reputation Todd Stottlemyre has is that he will throw that fastball up and in when a hitter begins to do that. Dive into the pitch in the outside corner.
Chuck Knobloch, leading hitter for the Twins in this series, on deck. And a fly ball hit to short left field. Manuel Lee calls for it, and now Mookie Wilson calls him off and makes the play. That's the first out here in the 3rd inning. Well, tomorrow on the NFL Today, it's Smash Mouth football. Borzi, maybe it's time for Bradshaw ball. You'll see how Terry would change the rules to add some offense. Also an update on Joe Montana and the 49ers, plus the word out of Philadelphia is beware of low-flying Eagles. And the latest on the League Championship Series. That's 12:30 Eastern Time tomorrow on the NFL Today, the last word before the kickoff.
Bradshaw ball. Must be a lot of throwing involved there, a lot of passing.
Maybe he'll be a commissioner someday. Here's Chuck Knobloch as Stottlemyre goes over to first base. Knobloch's a good man to hit and run with. Fly to center field his first time up. Fastball. 0-1.
Greg Gagne has as much speed as any runner on the Minnesota team, but not as accomplished a base stealer. Right now trying to read Todd Stottlemyre's move. Stottlemyre will spin and get the ball to first base rather quickly, but he's a little deliberate getting the ball to home.
Breaking ball, fouled off to the right. No balls and 2 strikes.
In just 3 games, 6 hits, and 3 away from Greg Jeffrey's record. Got both leading candidates for Rookie of the Year in the Sky Dome. Juan Guzman, the fine right-hander from Toronto, and this young second baseman.
And if this series goes to 6 or 7, Knobloch has a good shot of establishing the mark. No balls and 2 strikes. Again, watching Gagne over at first base. The Blue Jays lead 1-0. We're playing the top of the 3rd inning in Game 4 of the American League Championship Series. And there goes Gagne, and the pitch is taken outside, and the throw to second base. They got it. It was a straight steal. And Gagne is eliminated at second base. Lee put the tag on.
Boy, quick release by Pat Borders. You see Gagne's jump, and you're right, straight steal, straight ahead. And Jim McKeon, the umpire, has to wait for just a moment to find out whether Manuel Lee comes out with the ball. There's Gagne's jump. And the nice sweep tag. Boy, did Borders do a nice job of releasing that low and away pitch.
1-2 to Knobloch is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. So a rarity for Todd Stottlemyre, because during the regular season, opponents were successful on 24 of 27 stolen base attempts against them.
I think that what makes that throw even more remarkable, because he is easy to steal against.
Bases are clear. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Knobloch with 2 outs. Fastball, and he gets him. 3rd strikeout for Stottlemyre. It's still 1-0 Toronto, and we'll return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
What do you do when your ex-lover comes back?
Rick?
As a dog.
You have completely lost your mind.
And is love really better the second time around?
I've never been happier in my life.
He's a dog.
I detect a note of jealousy, Fleischman.
Jealous me of a dog?
You be the judge.
Is this Rick?
An all-new Northern Exposure, Monday.
Some call them crimes of passion. Others call it good lust gone bad. Premiering November 7th on CBS Late Night. Silk Stockings. It's too hot to sleep.
This is CBS.
Pizza Hut Delivery presents the return of the $4 pizza deal.
Tell me, is our first pizza is
Regular price.
and up to 4 more pizzas are each?
$4.
What about a pepperoni lovers?
Regular price.
And a sausage pizza?
$4.
5 meat lovers pizzas.
Regular price, $4, $4.
First pizza regular price up to 4 more, just $4 each.
Okay, how about 3 Supremes, a Stealth Bomber, and a pepperoni lovers?
Regular price, $4, $500 million bucks, $4.
For Pizza Hut delivery in the Twin Cities, check your local Yellow Pages for the delivery unit nearest you.
The power of intelligent engineering is routinely put to the test at Oldsmobile. And here's the result. Of all the Cutlass Sierras ever sold in the last 10 years, we can say 96% are still on the road. Safely say. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
See your local Oldsmobile dealers today.
Sometimes I dream that he is me. You got to see that's how I dream to be. I dream I move. I dream I groove.
Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. I'm gonna be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike. Be like Mike. Like Mike. If I could be like Mike.
Rosen Sports Sunday, Sundays at 10:35 on Channel 4.
Back in the Sky Dome, this architectural wonder has everything from a museum to a fitness center. It also has baseball a la carte. Now, these seats cost $150. Bruce, are they worth it?
They sure are. The food's almost as good as the baseball.
Well, the baseball is pretty good. Now, these folks, surprisingly, are also counted in the attendance. Dick and Jim, I'll save you guys some broiled lobster.
Okay. I like mine boiled. Thank you, Leslie. She's got the best job, don't you think?
I'll say.
Mookie Wilson, the count no balls and 2 strikes. 35-year-old veteran. This is his 4th postseason appearance. Twice with the Mets, the Jays in the '89 playoffs with Oakland, and now this one. Making his first start, takes a ball 1 and 2.
See, in this lineup tonight with Wilson hitting 9th, Mullenix out of the lineup, and Carter the DH because of the injury, he really becomes another leadoff hitter for Toronto.
Ground ball, fair ball, and again Herbeck makes a fine play defensively, feeds Morris for the out. So the Blue Jays are aiming, it seems, at Ken Herbeck, and he's handled them all perfectly.
Well, Ken Herbeck plays first base like his childhood game, hockey. A breaking pitch from Morris. He said, I play like a goalie, and any ball hit my way, I want to save a goal. So you'll see him smother the ball. Watch the accurate throw. You will never, I have never seen Ken Herbeck throw a ball to a pitcher covering first any place but right at the belt or the letters, which is right where you want it.
Of the first 9 hitters, 4 of them have hit it at Ken Herbeck at first base. Here's Devon White up for the 2nd time, takes ball 1. He grounded to Herbeck, who threw to Morris for the putout to start the Blue Jays' first inning. Fastball on the corner, 1-1.
See, again, early in the game, hitters looking back a little at Tim Welke, but like Rocky Rowe last night, he has established more of a pitcher strike zone.
Breaking ball in for the strike, 1 and 2. Jack Morris, a demonstrative pitcher, shows his emotions throughout this game. Here's the 1-2 pitch. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
If you watch players perform and you get to know them, their actions on the field are really a lot like their personalities. You take a bubbly guy like Kirby Puckett or a laid-back, graceful guy like Devon White, who's very quiet. Pitchers have a way of changing their emotions. They want to go out onto the mound a little bit of like a burr under the saddle. A little anger, competitive anger.
White holds up, and the count is full, 3-2. So far, nothing for Jack Morris to be angry at yet. Joe Carter, who would be the 4th hitter this inning. We have 1 out, and the 3-2 fastball is fouled off.
Get on top. You can read his lips. Get on top of that fastball. Every hitter hopes that on the high pitch that it can either lay off or get on top of it, not under it for a harmless pop-up.
Fouls off another fastball. A lot of new faces on the Blue Jays this season.
Gave up a lot of power. Home runs and RBIs from McGriff and Bell, but they're a better team. More speed. They play better in the field. Great bullpen.
And they won this year.
That's the final answer.
Pitch and a looper into right center field for a base hit. Devon White gets the 3rd Blue Jay hit with 1 out in the 3rd inning.
.135 strikeouts, but this is a great at-bat for making contact. Remember those pitches that he fought off, and he does get on top of that ball enough to get it into the outfield.
And a perfect opportunity for the Blue Jays to play hit and run. Roberto Alomar grounded to Herbeck his first time up, holding the runner at first. Infield, at 2nd and short, bunched toward the middle. Paliarulo even with the bag and wide of 3rd. The runner doesn't go, although White had a pretty good jump there, and it's fouled off for strike 1.
The ideal setup here for Toronto, of course, is Jack Morris, very easy to steal against. Brian Harper does not throw very well. And Devon White has great speed, so Roberto Alomar really could take a pitch and allow White to go ahead and get into scoring position, then swing the bat.
Just getting back is White. He took a nonchalant big lead, and I don't think he thought Morris was going to throw over.
He still doesn't have that base running arrogance, that Ricky Henderson arrogance. He still has the sort of tentative, apprehensive lead.
It's a big apprehensive lead right now. It does not go as Alomar swings at a fastball. 2 strikes. Joe Carter is on deck. As Harper checks into the dugout to see what the play is from Tom Kelly. 1-2, 0-2 pitch. Fastball. Now it's a ball and 2 strikes. Has allowed the most stolen bases of any American League pitcher in each of the last 2 seasons. White has the lead, was leaning that time, and dives back.
That's where that sliding pit becomes an asset to a pitcher. Up until that pitch, White had both feet on the dirt. That when he put that front leg out on the turf, probably told Jack Morris he's going this pitch.
Doesn't go, and there was the pitch out to throw to first, and White gets back. And it's a good thing White wasn't going. As far as the Blue Jays are concerned, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See what the pitch out does. Watch Brian Harper break out and up. It not only gives you a clear look to catch the pitch, but you get a couple of feet head start. White checked in time, and Harper tried to make the quick snap throw to Herbeck.
2-2 pitch, and there goes White, and a ground ball into the vacated spot, and falling down was Devon White. He fell down and might have made third base and lost his helmet, and the ball very nearly hit him. Knobloch had broken for the bag, and Alomar hit the vacated spot.
That's where that great athletic ability prevented White from getting hit by the ball. And once he dodged the bullet, the line shot by Alomar, he just collected himself to get to second base. Perfect execution on the hit and run. They had Knobloch covering right there. White looked like a long jumper. Well, we talked about his abilities similar to Edwin Moses. Looked a little like it.
Homer Hankies in Minneapolis. Blue and white Hankies here in Toronto. Joe Carter struck out his first time up. 2 on and 1 out. A double steal in effect. The throw to third, and everybody is safe. And a fine play by Pagliarulo as Harper very nearly threw that ball into left field.
Watch Joe Carter's position in the box. Brian Harper comes up ready to throw, and he hesitates. And that's all it takes with that man's speed. Just that split-second hesitation. No chance to get White. Well, the Blue Jays normally with Alomar at second are known for stealing third. Gaston does it this time with White leading the way. Good save by Pagliarulo on the throw.
0-1 the count, and with 1 out, a fly ball could give the Blue Jays another run. In tight on the fifth, 1 ball and 1 strike. The infield is playing back for Carter.
Tom Kelly's decision. I'll give you a run right here, a 2-0 lead, but I don't want to open up a big inning.
One ball and 2 strikes to Carter, who was a designated hitter in 11 games this year. The rest of the time started in the outfield for the Blue Jays.
Well, you can see the pain and the discomfort on his face with that ankle injury.
Devon White on at third base. Roberto Alomar at second. Two fine speedsters with one out, and the 1-2 pitch to Carter. Swing and a miss, and he strikes out on the same pitch that got him in the first inning, and there are two gone.
Boy, if you don't think legs are important to a hitter, these two at-bats will tell you that. Morris gives him another look. Down and in. So he just can't generate any kind of power, any kind of leverage. Look at the back leg. He's just hitting flat-footed. Sad to see an outstanding player have to perform, but he's got that kind of determination. He wants to be a part of this thing.
So with two out, a fly ball or a ground ball won't do the job, and John Olerud, who popped to short, hits a grounder right at Knobloch at second base, and Jack Morris pitches out of it. Despite the double steal and two hits, the Blue Jays leave two in scoring position. We've completed three. It's 1-0.
Toyota presents All-Around Champions. Tom Henke is the ace reliever of the Toronto Blue Jays. And as the father of a child with Down syndrome, Henke is committed to helping children like his daughter Amanda fully integrate into the community. Toyota is proud to contribute $500 each to the Down Syndrome Association of Toronto and the Canadian Association for Community Living. Toyota salutes all-around champions.
My wife can't understand why I don't sell it. After all, we agreed we would when we bought the new one. But every time I look at Dad's old Corolla, I remember the first time he brought it home. I'll never forget it.
Well, what do you think?
He was so proud. He said, these cars are built to last. And he was right. Now, how do you put a price tag on a memory like that?
The Toyota Corolla, over 15 million happy memories and still counting.
Sell Dad's Corolla?
I love you, Dad. I love you, too.
Sure, I'll sell it. For about $1 million.
One of these travelers knows that some payphones are connected to operator service companies you've never heard of. Some who can charge 2 to 3 times more than AT&T for long-distance calls. One of them knows a way to avoid being overcharged is to dial 10-ATT-0 and the number. Which one knows all this? The one who isn't being taken to the cleaners. 10-ATT-0 for fair prices and quality service. We're always there to help.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the American League Championship Series.
This game summary is sponsored by AT&T.
It's 1-0 in favor of the Blue Jays. Pat Borders with his first RBI of the series. Todd Stottlemyre, 3 shutout innings, and Jack Morris has given up 4 hits, making his second start of the American League Championship Series. 1-4-0 for the Blue Jays, 0-3-0 for the Twins, and they'll have the heart of their order, Puckett, Herbeck, and Davis, facing Todd Stottlemyre here in the 4th inning. Puckett was safe on an infield hit to shortstop his first time up. 1-0 the count.
Very well.
Fly ball hit deep to center field. Devon White is looking up, and this one is gone for a home run by Kirby Puckett. You knew sooner or later Kirby was going to hit one deep, and that ties the game at 1-1.
Began to make an adjustment last night after Jimmy Key got him out the first couple at bats, waiting back and hitting it the other way. Another example of Stottlemyre being a fly ball pitcher, and the ball will jump in this Sky Dome. Same path that Joe Carter's home run took last night.
Herbeck hits a drive to center field. White going back on the warning track, and he makes the catch right at the base of the wall. Devon White must be saying, hey, Todd, send it somewhere else. Yeah. Puckett homers to center field, and then Herbeck sends him to the base of the center field wall.
One thing a pitcher hates to see is his outfielder's numbers. See right there in Skydome, you can take your eye off the ball. That's Puckett's home run. In Skydome, you can take your eye off the ball and still turn around and pick up the ball. Not that one.
Twins have teed off on Todd Stottlemyre here in the 4th inning, tying the game on Kirby Puckett's homer. Herbeck with a drive to center, and with one out, here's Chili Davis. He's capable of going deep. Swing and a miss for a strike. He struck out his first time up.
I like that in a young pitcher. Todd Stottlemyre, just 26. Give up a couple of long ones. Doesn't shy away from the strike zone. He's right back after the next guy.
Breaking ball, and it's 1-1 to Chili. 2 RBIs for Davis, and that was in the opening inning of the first game at the Metrodome. Good pitch by Stottlemyre. Straight change. 1-2 now to Davis.
See, the pace slows when Chili Davis comes to the plate. When he came up with the Giants, he was an aggressive hacker, jumped into box, swung at the first thing he could see. Now, tries to wait and be selective.
And a line drive down the right field line. Could be extra bases for Chili Davis. Maldonado retrieves, and Davis will stop at second with a double. So Todd Stottlemyre, who has been hot or cold this year, has been tagged here in the 4th inning. A home run and a deep drive to center, and now Davis doubles with one out.
The joy spot for a left-hand hitter from a right-hand pitcher is right there, about thigh to knee high on the inside part of the plate. If you play golf, it's just kind of like dropping that club head on it. And once you make contact, you get a little extra leverage and a little extra pop behind the ball. Dangerous zone.
Galen Cisco quickly out to the mound. 5 hits off of Todd Stottlemyre here in the 4th inning. We're at the Skydome in Toronto, where they have restaurants, hotels, anything you want. The Toronto Blue Jays and the Minnesota Twins are tied 1-1 here in the 4th inning, and the game was tied on Kirby Puckett's home run into the center field seats to lead off. .426-foot drive by Puckett.
Home run or an out. Pretty hard to find that man without a smile on his face.
Here's Brian Harper with a runner in scoring position. He popped up his first time. Ball 1.
Looked like the old visit to the mound was the Art Fowler theory. Billy Martin's old pitching coach, when Art, a young pitcher, would say, I'm throwing a lot of strikes, Art would say, mix in a ball. Stottlemyre throwing all strikes, they're hitting it. First pitch was a ball.
There's a fastball, and he's mixed in 2 balls, 2-0. Father and son pitchers in postseason. The Stottlemyres join Jim Bagby Jr. and Sr. and Dizzy and Steve Trout. Two balls and no strikes to Harper. Stottlemyre struggling here in the 4th inning and falls behind now, 3-0. Off the outside corner, 3 balls and a strike. Chili Davis, the runner at second. 1 out. Swings at a pitch. He got the corner on the last pitch, and this was outside. Harper offered at it, and it's 3-2. The Atlanta Braves, with all the Tomahawks supporting them, defeated the Pirates 10-3 in Game 3 of the National League Championship Series.
He used a little lumber to go along with those Tomahawks, didn't he?
3-2 pitch, and Harper got a good pitch to hit there.
Almost like Galen Cisco's trip to the mound was to remind Todd Stottlemyre, again, Cisco, the Blue Jays pitching coach, to get back in the habit of pitching and not throwing. Normally when you give up a few long ones like that as a pitcher, you have a tendency to rear back, and I want to throw it a little harder. Stottlemyre's been guilty of that.
Again, Checker Davis. Here's the 3-2 pitch, and a ground ball up the middle. Manuel Lee with a nice glove hand play makes the throw to first in time for out number 2 as Davis advances to third.
Best time to get a hitter out inside is when he has 2 strikes, because he's protecting the plate, takes a more of a defensive contact swing. That's what Harper did. Lee, with good range, makes the routine play. The bouncy turf, you'll see more of the ground balls come up in the Sky Dome than you will at the Metrodome. In the Metrodome, they hug the ground a little more.
A lot more cushion here on this artificial turf.
Easier around the knees and back.
2 down, and here's Shane Mack. He beat out an infield hit his first time up to the left side with an opportunity to put the Twins in front. Davis is at third with 2 outs. Ball 1 low. Wonder how long it'll take to wash off that paint.
Got the those are the rally rag. Got it underneath his cap.
He has a rally rag on his face. 1-0 pitch, breaking ball, and Mack patient with it. Now it's 2-0. Stottlemyre does not want to lose Mack with the left-handed hitting Paliarullo on deck, and he sent a drive deep to the opposite field his first time up. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and a good fastball. 2-1.
That's when you have a good major league fastball. When you get behind a hitter 2-0 and throw the ball in his zone, the hitter's zone, see the determination in those eyes, and this is right down the center of the plate, yet Mack swings right through it.
Stottlemyre challenged him on 2-0. Here's the 2-1 pitch. Goes after a breaking ball in the dirt, 2-2.
Tom Hinkie has done it in a couple of at-bats and not Stottlemyre. Look at Mack's eyes. Aggressive, determined player, and the Blue Jays pitchers are playing off his anxiety. A leg kick similar to Kirby Puckett's, chasing a lot of pitches out of the zone.
Davis with the lead off third. The 2-2 pitch fouled away. 1-1 the score. The Blue Jays scored in the second inning, and the Twins have tied it up on a Kirby Puckett home run, leading off here in the fourth. Mack trying to get Chili home. Stottlemyre has struck out a batter in each of the first 3 innings. Twins have at least a hit in each of the first 4. Didn't offer at the breaking ball. 3-2.
Not only finger signs, but you saw Pat Borders. You mentioned the good relationship they have, even giving Todd Stottlemyre a little reminder. Keep the ball down. They know Mack will chase the breaking ball down there if they throw him enough of it.
3 balls and 2 strikes, 2 outs. And he held up ball 4, and Mack is aboard. So this is not what Stottlemyre wanted, because Mike Paliarullo comes to the plate, and a conference at the mound as Roberto Alomar comes in to talk to Todd Stottlemyre.
Concerned right now if, first of all, Paliarullo would fall behind in the count, whether Tom Kelly would elect to send Mack. The Blue Jays infielders, along with Pat Borders, want to make sure they're all on the same page as to where the ball will be thrown.
Stottlemyre has talked about focusing on the hitter. He says, in the past, I haven't controlled myself on the mound, concentrate more on the runners, and he's lost the hitter. Let's see if he's learned a lesson. Runners are at first and third with 2 out. 1-1 the score. Twins batting in the 4th. Foul ball and a strike to Pagliarulo. Mike is 2 for 7 career-wise against Stottlemyre, but the first time up sent Mookie Wilson to the base of the left center field wall.
But look how deep Roberto Alomar is, and then Lee at a deep shortstop. That really makes it easier for Mac to steal. These 2 guys have a tough time getting to the bag.
In the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Chili Davis on at third. He doubled with 1 out. The runner at first base is Shane Mack. He did not have much of a lead, despite the fact that he might get to second easily, the way the infielders are deployed. Let's see if he decides to go here. 1-1 pitch. Up high. 2-1.
The other reason, if you're Tom Kelly, you elect to keep Mack there, is a base hit scores a run, and with John Olerud holding Mack, it gives Mike Pagliarulo a little bigger hole to shoot at down there for a ground ball single.
And if he steals second, they may walk Pagliarulo and pitch to Gagne, the right-handed hitter.
Good point.
2 balls and 1 strike. And a ground ball through into center field for a base hit, and the strategy works. Pagliarulo drives in a run. White bobbled the ball in center field, and Shane Mack goes all the way to third, and the Twins lead it 2-1 on Pagliarulo's RBI single.
Well, it was a home run in last night's game, but this has been more the value Mike Pagliarulo has been to Minnesota this year, making contact and using the entire field. Alomar playing deep and anticipating Pagliarulo to pull the ball. Still could not catch up with that one.
And the Toronto Blue Jays get bullpen activity going here, as Stottlemyre has struggled here in the 4th inning. He's already given up 3 hits, including a home run. The Twins lead it 2-1. Left-hander David Wells, who's been a busy man in the series thus far, is up working again.
Well, he was a starter in the early part. He's getting the same kind of duty here.
Greg Gagne singled his first time up. Fastball up tight. Well, this is the last thing that the Blue Jays wanted in this important game 4, trailing 2-1. You mentioned at the outset they needed a good pitch game from Todd Stottlemyre, but he's trailing 2-1, and the Twins still threaten. Swing and a miss. Good breaking ball, 1-1. The brain trust in the Toronto dugout.
Well, you see Cito Gaston kind of shifting from side to side with that painful back injury. He's having a hard time getting comfortable in there.
In for the strike, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Borders on the corner. That's where the pitch was. This is that count that a lot of managers, 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, to say, go ahead and send a runner at first. See what they do. If they throw to second, maybe we could steal a run.
Runner doesn't go. The 1-2 pitch, chop foul off to the left side. People talked about the home field advantage with the 2 domes. The Blue Jays winning the 2nd game at the Metrodome, but then the Twins winning last night and leading here. Kevin Tapani would be their pitcher tomorrow afternoon, and right now Cito Gaston says he's still sticking with Tom Candiotti as his Game 5 starter. The 1-2 pitch to Gagne, and it hits him. In the back, Greg Gagne trots down to first base, and that'll load him up.
Fastball gets away from Stottlemyre. After the breaking pitch is away, he wants to come in, but not that far in. Gagne turns his back and takes one for the club.
The bases are loaded with 2 away. Shane Mack on at third, Mike Pagliarulo at second, and Greg Gagne at first. And Dan Gladden, for the 3rd time, he struck out and flied out. And a broken bat looper, base hit to right field over Olerud's glove. 2 runs will score. Gagne goes to third, and the Minnesota Twins have scored 4 times here in the 4th inning against Todd Stottlemyre. We've had a lot of broken bat hits that have resulted in runs, and we've got another one here.
But as a pitcher, you scold yourself because it isn't the broken bat hit. It's the hit batsman, the hitter before, that makes this possible. Gladden just fights it off.
And Galen Cisco coming to the mound, and Twins will have to make a change. And with that RBI, Gladden drives in 2, so every member of the Twins starting lineup have knocked in a run in this series. As Todd Stottlemyre is knocked from the mound here in the 4th inning, David Wells coming on in.
Chug along. Pinstripe suits and high-heel shoes. The daily grind gives them all the blues. Don't work me over, I know what works good. While the best thing though is so misunderstood. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper, we want it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. The taste that's made to order.
Oh, a cracker's not a snack without cheddar on its back. That's a cheese snack pack.
It's a fact. Cheese makes great snacks. So visit the cheese snack shop at your store.
Nachos aren't a snack without Monterey Jack. That's a cheese snack pack.
Whether you're crossing the Sahara or climbing Kilimanjaro or hiking through Hoboken, keep in mind, 2/3 of the Earth is covered by water. We do. Waterproof Rockports, all-terrain vehicles for your feet.
All across America, people have discovered a big plus, the wonderful, easy way to remove stains from their teeth. Their smiles are Plus White smiles, thanks to the remarkable product, Plus White. Only Plus White has the special gel formula that works so well it even removes coffee and tobacco stains. Plus White whitens as no toothpaste can. For whiter, brighter teeth and a great smile, the special Plus White formula for the Plus White smile. Get it.
It's 7 a.m. Do you know what your children are listening to?
What's that bulge in your shorts?
Shockwaves on 48 Hours, Wednesday.
Remember your favorite relative growing up?
We don't have favorites, Nathaniel. We love all our relatives the same.
You do?
Not really, but we pretend.
Remember little family dinners with big announcements?
Actually, I'm leaving Joel.
What did she say?
She said she's leaving Joel.
I heard what she said.
The show critics love. Brooklyn Bridge, now at 8 Friday.
Tomorrow, it all begins with the NFL Today, the Saints and the Eagles. Saints are undefeated. Phoenix against Minnesota. Some of you will see Atlanta against San Francisco. That game moved to Candlestick Park, and it all begins with the NFL Today at 12:30 Eastern, the last word before kickoff. So Todd Stottlemyre doesn't get it done, and he is knocked out in the 4th inning, and a disappointing trip for Mel Stottlemyre. Right in the middle. Been the pitching coach of the New York Mets, and the 9th batter of the inning. As Chuck Knobloch, David Wells, the new pitcher, goes over to first base.
Dad can talk to him a little about postseason play. Mel came up with those 64 Yankees and helped pitch them to the American League pennant.
Runners are at first and third. Knobloch swings and misses. He's 0 for 2 so far. Both bullpens have been terrific in this series, but look at the effectiveness of these 3 Toronto Blue Jays.
And those 3, along with Mike Timlin, they've really been asked to pitch more innings than the starters.
Wells pitched 3 shutout innings in game 1, an inning and a half, 2/3 last night. He was a starter for most of the season and had a 14-10 record. There's the 0-1 pitch on the corner. 0-2 to Knobloch. Greg Gagne is at third base and Dan Gladden on at first with 2 out.
Same situation for Minnesota. They can elect to send Gladden with the 0-2 count. Make the Blue Jays make the play.
Go to first.
Wells has an outstanding pickoff move, so Gladden is not going to get a good jump. But the object, if you're a base runner at first in this situation, is get caught between first and second and try to allow the man at third to score.
And Gladden is off, and the pitch is taken for a ball. And Pat Borders was wary of Gagne at third base as Gladden steals second.
And a painful steal of second. Wells checks it. Gladden waited till the leg went right there before he took off. And Borders made the wise choice. See, Gladden slowed up. If he had thrown, he was going to get caught in the rundown. But with a 2-strike count, Borders elected not to throw.
1-2 pitch, and Knobloch strikes out on a breaking ball, but the Twins bat around, knock out Todd Stottlemyre, and score 4 runs. In the middle of the 4th inning, it's now 4-1 Minnesota.
Where do you want to be in 5 years?
I had an old Studebaker truck and $300 when I started this company. In a few years, my sons will be ready to take over, and then I'd like to... I never told anybody this. I want to live in Paris and go to cooking school. Hey, that's what I want to do. Will I have the money to do it?
You can get there from here. With Shearson Lehman Brothers.
If you wear extremely lightweight Rockport hiking boots instead of heavy hiking boots, your feet lift something like 20,000 fewer pounds every day. Rockport's all-terrain vehicles for your feet.
I smoke, but on this flight, cigarettes are grounded. My answer? Wrigley Spearmint Gum. That cool, clean taste never lets me down. When I can't smoke, I enjoy pure chewing satisfaction.
Your dream is sea breezes off Cape Cod. But it's sweat, not dreams, that's going to get you there. And you need a deodorant you can depend on. Old Spice deodorant actually helps stop odor before it starts by killing odor-causing bacteria on contact. 99%. That's odor prevention you can count on with the clean scent of Old Spice.
Permission to come aboard?
Old Spice deodorant. It does a number on odor-causing bacteria, 99%.
It's only natural that children look to their parents for answers. So to help you explain why some things that may be fine for adults aren't right for children, Anheuser-Busch offers Family Talk, free advice from professionals to use with your kids while they're still learning to be grown up. And their favorite teacher is you. Let's stop underage drinking before it starts.
Tell me, oh wisest Swami, what's the answer?
Well, the Eagles have a most difficult defense, but the Saints are unbelievably undefeated. I wish I had a television.
This day in baseball history, the Minnesota Twins defeated the Detroit Tigers in Game 5 of the American League Championship Series, 9-5, to capture their first American League pennant in 22 years. The Twins, with the worst road record of any pennant or division winner in history, took 2 of 3 at Detroit. That was 4 years ago today, and the Twins showing that they can be successful on the road, winning last night and leading here. Kelly Gruber leading off. Takes a breaking ball for a strike, 1-1. He fly to left field his first trip.
Unusual about this year's team, looking back at '87. Very few teams go to postseason play with an entirely new pitching staff.
Ball and 2 strikes. He sure changed faces on the mound to a man, haven't they?
Yeah, most of the time there's a couple of holdovers on that staff. This is an entirely new pitching staff. Just 7 players remain on the entire team.
Off the fists, and a bounding ball to shortstop. Gagne with the throw, and there's one away here in the 4th inning. Only 7 players remain from that '87 championship club.
Al Newman, still a fine utility player, plays at third, second, and short. Bush, the best pinch hitter in the American League this year.
We haven't seen him yet in the series. Candy Maldonado singled and scored the Toronto run in the 2nd inning. Hits this in the air, deep to right center field. Puckett gives chase and gets over there in time. Kirby got a real good jump to right center field, and Maldonado is retired for the first time.
Not quite the speed on the breaking pitch from Morris. Not quite the speed by Puckett, but still the quick reactions. And then knows he has it in stride right there. No Willie Mays basket catch. Actually, if you rolled Devon White's natural ability with Kirby Puckett's charisma and enthusiasm, you'd have Willie Mays.
A looper into short right field. Knobloch dives valiantly, but the ball lands safely, and Pat Borders is on with a 2-out single. Borders is now 2 for 2, and he drove in the run, but a great try by Knobloch.
Fully extended. He'll pay a price for that when that body hits the turf. Right there. Playing Borders over to pull. Extended himself as far as he could. Couldn't catch up with it.
That is the 5th hit for the Blue Jays against Jack Morris. But here's Manuel Lee, who's still looking for his first hit in this series. He's 0 for 11 and takes strike 1. With Carter ailing and certainly not himself tonight, you wonder where the Toronto Blue Jays are going to get their offensive punch.
Well, but one of the big differences between these two teams is the depth on the bench. You mentioned Randy Bush has not appeared yet, and he's the best pinch hitter in the American League.
One and one. Minnesota Twins lead the Blue Jays 4-1. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning here at the Sky Dome. Twins lead in the series 2-1. The Blue Jays could really find their backs to the wall if they don't come up with a rally here. One pitch. Low. 2-1.
Manny Lee has one thing in mind right here. Try to draw a walk. Saw him do it a couple of times in last night's game from the left side of the plate.
And a fastball that nicks the outside corner. Lee can't imagine where that pitch was.
Well, it broke just off the outside edge, but Tim Welke all night long, we mentioned, has established more of a pitcher's strike zone.
You said that with glee, Mr. Cott.
Makes for a better game. Cito Gaston didn't like it.
2 balls and 2 strikes. And Lee strikes out. No runs, a hit and 1 left. That's the 3rd strikeout for Jack Morris. Crowd not pleased with the Blue Jays right now. Why would they be? Trailing 4-1.
Somehow, people have gotten the idea the new Toyota Paseo is a wildly exciting, sporty coupe. The Paseo is a practical, sensible car. Okay, so it has some muscle. And a low starting price could be a big turn-on. And sure, you're going to be instantly popular. That's no reason to do something impulsive. Think it over. The all-new Paseo. A very practical car. From Toyota.
This is a commercial for this clever little portable CD player from Magnavox, the inventors of CD technology. I'm sorry, actually, this is a commercial for the ingenious Magnavox 13-inch TV with a built-in VCR. I'm sorry, this is really a commercial for this brilliant 52-inch TV with 100-watt Dolby surround sound. I'm sorry, wrong again. This is supposed to be a commercial for this Magnavox 386 notebook computer. Hang on, we haven't finished. Oh, I'm sorry.
The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart.
1874, the first transatlantic cable connecting Ireland and America. It was made by Siemens. That was then. This is now. Today, Siemens makes telephone switches that handle 1 million calls in a single hour, carry voice, text, and data on a single phone line. And at 23 research sites in America, the people of Siemens are developing technologies to connect us all to the future. Siemens, precision thinking.
George Brett, first base, Kansas City. Barry Larkin, shortstop, Cincinnati. Karen Foster, student, Boston. Larry Cohen, dentist, Chicago.
Ever since Major League Baseball introduced the authentic diamond collection of clothing and equipment identical to the pros, it's gotten a lot harder to tell the players from the fans. The authentic diamond collection, a part of baseball you can call your own.
The preceding was furnished by Major League Baseball.
Well, last inning, Kirby Puckett led off for the Minnesota Twins, and here's how he delivered. A home run for Puckett as the Twins batted around. And shelled Todd Stottlemyre, drove him from the mound and scored 4 runs, and that's our story. As Puckett leads off in the 5th inning, 2 for 2 with a homer and a single. David Wells, in relief of Todd Stottlemyre, got the last out of the 4th inning. Off-speed breaking ball, 1-0 the count.
That's the career averages, and when you put Kirby Puckett against a left-handed pitcher, as he is right now, the best in baseball over the last 15 years.
And over 400 this year. 2-0 the count to Kirby. And Wells wants a new baseball.
Say over the last 15 years, obviously he hasn't played that long, but as long as they've been keeping in our world of baseball numbers, as long as they've been keeping that, he has the highest career average against lefties.
Hops it up to the right side. John Olerud in foul ground, now drifts into fair territory and makes the catch. 1 away in the 5th inning. Kent Herbeck 0 for 2, but last time up sent a drive to the deepest part of center field, where Devon White corralled it. He's 1 for 13 in the series and looks at ball 1 up high. One and one.
Mentioned tomorrow's starter for the Blue Jays, if it is Candiotti and this game holds up, Wells being called on again, it has really taxed Cito Gaston's bullpen first 4 games of this series.
Misses inside, although Cito told us that we always have a meeting with all the coaches, and it's possible that the coaches could convince me that maybe Juan Guzman would be the man to start, and a lot depends on the result. If the Blue Jays lose tonight, I wouldn't be surprised to see Guzman.
That would be his 3rd start in a row on just 3 days rest. That would enter into their decision.
2-1 the count to Herbeck with 1 out. And that'll even the count.
You know, it's one thing at this time of the year to say, well, you have all winter to rest, so you use those guys out of the bullpen, but it's more than just being used. You want them out there pitching effectively and being sharp. They have been so far, but you start running them out there 3 days in a row with a lot of these short starts, and that'll take its toll.
David Wells. The 2-2 pitch. 3-2 now to Kent Herbeck. Top of the 5th inning. The Twins lead the Blue Jays 4-1. They've out-hit Toronto 7-5, looking to extend their lead in this series to 3-1. Game 5 tomorrow afternoon. gets Herbeck. That's Wells' second strikeout, 2 down. Well, Chili Davis, with Tom Kelly as his manager this year, here's what he thinks of the Twins skipper.
I'm going to compliment TK. Last time I did this, I got ripped for it. But I'm going to compliment him because he does exactly that. He treats you as a person. He handles the different characteristics, the different personalities very well, I think. And he allows you to have fun.
When you win, you have fun. Yeah. Ball 1 inside. Tom Kelly lets the players play. He reduces this game to the basics, doesn't he?
He sure does. And one of Chili's former managers, Rocky Bridges, that's who Chili Davis compared Tom Kelly to, was the same type of guy. And I was a teammate of Rocky Bridges in the late 50s with the Washington Senators. And I'll never forget at the end of the season, talk about going home for the winter and have a good winter and where do you live? And Rocky lived in California. I said, how far is it from Washington, D.C. to California? His answer, 57 cigars. That's a long ways.
When he wasn't smoking him, he had the chaw tobacco in that cheek, didn't he? 1-0 pitch. Fouled off to the right. 1 ball and 1 strike to Davis. He doubled and scored a run last inning. 1 for 2 on the night.
There have been some interesting managerial decisions in this series that have had an effect on it. Last night's game was certainly a great example of that.
Tom Kelly made a big decision last night that could have backfired big time when he brought in David West to face the right-handed hitting Joe Carter.
Well, isn't that the truth? I mean, can you imagine being Tom Kelly sitting in your office and saying, yeah, I brought in West to face Carter with a 1-2 count, lefty to righty, and he hits a home run? Took a little courage to make that move.
The 2-1 to Davis. Breaking ball, and it's now 3-1 to Chili. Wells upset with himself. Jack Morris, who had a 5-1 lead when he departed in the 6th inning the other night, leading 4-1 right here. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Foul back, and the count is full now.
The other decision, Cito Gaston was criticized a little for using Robbie Alomar to bunt Devon White over, take the bat out of Joe Carter's hands, but he said Carter couldn't hit. I knew they were going to walk him, and I wanted him to. And he, of course, removed Carter for a pinch runner. He said, I wanted to do that because Olerud's been swinging the bat rather well for me. That was the only other option I had. And we can see by tonight's game, Carter is not able to swing the bat well.
Seems to be just a guy in the lineup. Here's the 3-2 pitch to Chili Davis. Strikes out on a good fastball, so David Wells has struck out 3 of the 4 batters he's faced. In the middle of the 5th inning, though, the Twins are leading it 4-1.
It has a breathtaking shape. It has new overhead cam power and standard anti-lock brakes. Introducing the all-new Pontiac Grand Am. Excitement with purpose.
Crisp, clean, Old Spice. It puts the wind in your sails.
It's gone. But it isn't.
Vicks introduces an incredible new cough drop.
It's gone, but it isn't.
A cough drop so powerful, it keeps on working even after the drop is gone. It's extra strength Vicks, a new kind of Vicks with twice the Vicks Vapor Medicine to relieve your cough and help your scratchy throat and stuffy nose feel better, even after the drop is gone. New extra strength Vicks, extra strong to work
Even after it's gone.
Imagine a rent-a-car company that offers special delivery right to your door.
That's enterprise.
Here, let me help you.
Enterprise, a special rent-a-car company that gives you special delivery.
Action-adventure sexy show you've been waiting for, Real Sexy, is coming Friday to CBS.
Hey! Oh!
She's a corporate executive, Real Babe, at the Palace Hotel.
What's going on here? Stop it!
Sometimes you can be a little rigid.
Stop it!
He's a former jewel thief, Real Trouble, and her new head of security, Nightmare.
You stole it.
Yeah.
She's the boss, she wishes, and she can't stand it. Once bad.
Says who?
Says you.
Keep your eyes on the Palace Guard.
Ain't this working?
Premiering Friday, Real Sexy, on CBS.
Back in the Sky Dome, I'm with the man that some people think should be the MVP of the Toronto Blue Jays. Pat Gillick made the trades for Carter, White, and Alomar. Tonight you have Carter hobbling, struggling a little bit. What do you have to do to get back in it, Pat?
We've got to score a few runs. Our bats have been dead in the 3 games thus far, and they've been kind of quiet tonight, Leslie, so we've got to score some runs.
On the business side of your life, 12 managers have been released this year. Why do you think that is?
Well, there's a lot of pressure on the managers to win right now, and people are a little bit impatient. So I think the pressure is heavier than it's ever been. So, you know, hopefully that some of these guys are going to land on their feet, but there might be a few more shoes to drop.
Best of luck. Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Leslie.
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. Pat Gillick's done a terrific job. Pulled the trigger after some hesitant years and made some terrific deals, and they've got a really fine outfielder in Derek Bell, the minor league player of the year, who could be up here next season.
Yeah, that's a case of both these teams in the championship series. They could get better.
2 balls and a strike to Mookie Wilson. 0 for 1. Drove in 3 runs in the final week against the Twins. That was his season's high. All he's trying to do is get on base to start something here with his club trailing 4-1.
Similar to game 1, Jack Morris had a comfortable lead. He was bothered by that respiratory condition, and the Blue Jays came back at him, and this is one of their best hopes to start it off again.
Ball 4, and Wilson leads off with a walk. That is the first base on balls issued by Jack Morris. The Blue Jays left 2 runners in scoring position in the 3rd inning. They've done that a lot in this series. Here's Devon White, 1 for 2 with a single. Foul ball right at the plate, strike 1.
And oftentimes with a team down 3 runs, you say that takes their running game away. Not necessarily true with Harper and Morris. We talked about the combination being a little easier to steal against. And Wilson has good speed at first. I don't think they'll hesitate to run.
Well, Cito Gaston's got to get something going, and as we pointed out, Carter has been ineffective because of that injury, gamely playing on that ankle. So they've got to manufacture runs some way. 0-1 the count to Devon White. They respect the bunt at 3rd base. The runner doesn't go, and the pitch is taken for a ball.
In fact, you mentioned Joe Carter would not be surprising in this situation. The Blue Jays getting it back in to see Rance Mullenix, who was the DH, to get a chance in this inning. Obvious that Carter is not the same Joe Carter with that ankle injury.
And a big swing and a foul tip into Harper's mitt. 1-2 the count to White. Both teams have been successful running. The Twins have been better base stealers than the Blue Jays, which is a surprise.
Toronto with a little higher percentage, but Minnesota's had more opportunities to take advantage of it.
1-2 to White. And a chopper in front of the mound. Morris quickly off. His throw is in time. Good hustle by Jack Morris on a tough play to get the speedy White. Advancing to second is Mookie Wilson, and there's 1 away here in the Blue Jays 5th.
Key to fielding this ball for a pitcher. Watch Morris bolt off the mound. It's the first 3 strides. 1, 2, 3. They better be quick and as long as possible. You get to the ball, then you have time to collect your feet and make the accurate throw so you don't have to throw it off balance.
Said well by a 16-time Gold Glove winner, Mr. Kopp. You've done that a lot of times.
When you're used to having a lot of shots hit back at you, you learn in a hurry how to handle it.
Roberto Alomar 1 for 2. Wilson is in scoring position with 1 out here in the 5th inning. 1-0 the count. By Paliarulo, and a brilliant defensive play, maybe the best one we've seen in the series for out number 2. That saved an extra base hit, robbing Alomar.
Another hockey player at third, plays third base like a goalie. Look at that position. You don't have to have great foot speed, but you better have quick reflexes. Paliarulo has them. That's how he got to the big leagues, not with his bat, with his ability to field.
So Joe Carter is coming up facing Jack Morris, and this is what he had to say about the pitcher on the mound.
Every time he faces me, he throws me a little changeup where he just slows down like this. He throws it last at me, and one of these days I'm going to get him on that. I've told him that, and I still haven't got him on that little changeup yet. But you know, it may be coming soon. We may have something up under our sleeves for Jack Morris this time.
I'm sure Joe would like to be healthier than he is right now as he takes strike 1 from Morris.
Unfortunately, with that bad ankle, I don't think he's going to see a lot of changeups.
Carter has struck out twice so far. And a ground ball hit to Paliarulo. The throw to first is in time, but Paliarulo saves an extra base hit, and will return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
It's 7 a.m. Do you know what your children are listening to?
What's that bulge in your shorts?
Shockwaves on 48 Hours, Wednesday.
Monday, it's a very special episode of Murphy Brown.
Avery Brown. One hell of a broad.
Murphy says goodbye to her mom with special guest Darren McGavin.
I always thought that I'd be the first to go. Dad. I was sure she'd figure out some way to kill me.
Followed by an all-new Designing Women. Monday.
This is CBS. Head over to Cherokee Power Equipment for Snapper's Fall Cleanup Sale. For a limited time, buy a Snapper walk mower and receive a free accessory valued up to $79.95. Or buy any Snapper rider or tractor and get a free trimmer, blower, or grass catcher valued up to $179.95. And don't forget Cherokee's preseason specials on all Snapper snow throwers. Cherokee has the complete line of Snapper snow throwers that can handle any amount of snow. Hurry into Snapper's Fall Cleanup Sale at Cherokee Power Equipment. Bargains like these won't last long.
Red cars, red lips, red stars, red fingertips, red walls, red songs, red bowling balls, red telephones, red spots, red sheets, red white and blues, red pillows on your bed. Start seeing red. You're right on target. Start seeing red. Smart shoppers look our way. Red. You're right on target. Start seeing red, red, right on target. Get your motor running. Head out on the highway, looking for adventure, and whatever comes our way. Yeah, darling, go make it happen.
Fixing the Past. Sunday night at 10 on Channel 4.
Tomorrow on the NFL Today, join Greg, Terry, Leslie, and Pat with this year's shift from scoring to boring in the NFL. Terry tells us how he would revise the rules to open up the game and let the fun back in. Terry unveils, yes, scratch-off ball. I like it, and it's a whole new ball game tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern on the NFL Today. The last word before kickoff. 6th inning we go, and Brian Harper takes a breaking pitch for a ball, 1-0. He's 0 for 2 on the night. Mike Paliarulo has helped the Twins with his glove and his bat, both last night with his bat and tonight as well with an RBI single and a sparkling defensive play. Another curveball missing, 2-0.
been one of the strengths really of both of these teams. You look at the Minnesota fielding percentage, they're right up there at tie for first. Toronto has made a lot of errors, but don't be deceived. They are a much better team in the field this year with White and Alomar, Gruber healthy.
On the corner, 2 balls and 1 strike. Twins have made only 1 error in this series. Tom Kelly likes the way things are going. David Wells just missed inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Talked about the 2 managers, and if you compared the 2 managers, if you played word association, Tom Kelly's name came up. It would be preparation. Cito Gaston, relaxation. He has his players very, very loose, hands off.
Ground ball, fair ball, and it gets past Gruber down the left field line. Took a hop over his glove, and the ball stops there. Mookie Wilson will retrieve, but Brian Harper easily gets into second with a double. That's the first hit off of David Wells, who had retired the 4 batters he had faced.
Again, the bouncy turf. Gruber gets over there, but watch the ball take the high bounce. He has to retreat. Thinks he can backhand it. Can't do it. That's one habit that turf will get you into as an infielder. Instead of getting your body behind the ball and catching it sort of thumbs together in front of you, you anticipate the bounce on AstroTurf and you try to backhand it. No chance on that one.
Conference at the mound with Gruber and Pat Borders. So Harper is at second, and Shane Mack will be trying to get Harper over to third and look to hit the ball to the right side.
Well, and that's what the conversation on the mound is about. And while that happened, Gardenhire walked down to talk with Mack. The 2 options for Shane Mack: bunt toward Gruber or slap the ball to the right side.
Nobody out, and the Twins looking to add to their 4-1 lead here in the 6th inning. Pitch up high, 1-0. Right-hander is Acker, and the left-hander is McDonald. And Cito Gaston is out to the mound to talk to his manager. He's got 2 pitchers ready. Acker would be the pitcher to come in if he makes a change here.
He's had to send Wells out to the mound. Once again, we talked about the short starts. Looked like he looked at Borders. How's he throwing? Curveball hanging a little bit, not too much on the fastball. Managers will trust catchers sometimes, but pitchers will always tell catchers, don't tell him. I feel okay. I want to stay in. The manager will seldom ask a pitcher how he feels because you won't get the true answer.
Game 5 tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock Eastern time. And if this game holds up, the Minnesota Twins will have a commanding 3-1 lead. They're leading 4-1 here. And in the National League, tomorrow game 4. And the Pittsburgh Pirates are looking to get back into that series as the Braves, supported by that great home crowd support, won today big. So let's see what Jim Leland's club has in response tomorrow night. Wells stays in the game. Keep in mind that Polyrulo, a left-handed batter, is on deck. 1-0 the count to Mack. Breaking ball in the dirt, no advance. 2-0. Blue Jays scored first tonight with a run in the 2nd inning, but the Twins posted a 4th spot in the 4th batting around, sparked by Kirby Puckett's leadoff home run. Just low, and 3-0 the count to Mack. And I guess part of the conversation was not to give Mack anything good with the left-handed hitter coming up on deck.
What they do then is play into Minnesota's hands, and they allow Polyrulo to bunt and sacrifice the runners up.
In for the strike, 3-1. If that's the case, then the Blue Jays have decided they rather pitch to Greg Gagne with runners in scoring position and 1 out and try to get Mack right here. 3-1 the count. Ground ball into the hole, gloved by Lee. The throw in time. Fine play by Manuel Lee on a hard hit ball by Shane Mack. Holding at second is Harper, and there's 1 away.
So Wells wins that battle. That's not what managers will call a productive out. Situation like this, I don't care if the hitter makes an out, but you better advance the runner. But Wells gets Mack to pull the ball. He makes it out. Runner has to stay at second.
Lee has played a solid shortstop in this series. And here is Pagliarulo. Takes the fastball for strike 1. Singled and drove in a run in the 4th inning. The hero last night with a 10th inning home run and has made the defensive play of the series, robbing Roberto Alomar of extra base hit, spearing a line drive in the 5th. Lee trying to cheat towards second to keep Harper close. There's a breaking ball in for the strike. 0-2 now to Pags.
Watch how an infielder gets ready. They'll get that weight on the balls of their feet, ready to break either way, so you can get that quick first step. That's what it took to make that play.
Almost got fooled, but the breaking pitch was up high, 1-2.
Just hung a little inside.
Wells 1-2 pitch. 2-2 now to Pagliarulo.
Wells and Borders are really having difficulty apparently getting together on the sign. With Stottlemyre, when he was in the game, they had a little more of a rhythm between pitcher and catcher, not as much time between pitches. Now there seems to be a little more indecision.
Two pitch. Breaking ball hit out to left field, and it's going to get into the gap and past Mookie Wilson. Harper will score. Pagliarulo will stop at second with a double. And the Minnesota Twins now lead 5-1. And Mike Pagliarulo with his second hit and second RBI of the game.
One of the changes Pagliarulo made. Look at the left elbow. Watch how close it is tucked into the body. When you watch power hitters, it's usually much farther away. What that's enabled him to do is make more contact, spray the ball around to all fields, and thus the higher average, lower power production.
Galen Cisco coming to the mound. Acker, the right-hander, has been warming up and will get the call. So it's quiet Sky Dome with the Minnesota Twins adding another run here in the 6th inning now with a 5-1 lead. Here comes Acker. We'll be back.
When I first saw Sarah on the library steps, I swear it skipped a beat. When Don Larson was 1 pitch away from a perfect game in the World Series, it stood perfectly still. On that awful day in '63, it felt like it was in the pit of my stomach. And that incredible moment when we all took one giant leap for mankind, it nearly burst with pride. But last year, when the doctors told me my heart was failing, and without a transplant I wouldn't last 6 months, that's when it stuck in my throat.
A year ago, the Prudential created the Living Needs benefit. Now the terminally ill could collect their death benefit while they were alive, and they could use it for anything their heart desired.
Now that I'm alive and well, I think of the donor. I think of his family, and naturally, my heart goes out to them.
For information, call 1-800-654-ROCK.
Rolaids. Now that spells relief.
How do you flunk a football hero and live to tell about it?
What makes you think you've got the right to fail my son, Gibson? What makes you think I'm Gibson? I'm the electrician.
An all-new Teach, Wednesday.
How do you stop the world's greatest jewel thief?
More security cameras.
He knows how to avoid them.
Laser beams.
He knows how to disarm them.
Well, how do you propose we stop him?
We hire him. Friday on CBS.
Are you the boss?
Keep your eyes on this man. He's the Palace Guard.
The third pitcher of the night for the Blue Jays is Jim Acker, and he's making his first appearance of this series. Looking at his season record, ERA of 5.20, and gave up 16 home runs in 59 games, facing Greg Gagne with Mike Pagliarulo at second and one out. Twins have added to their lead, up 5-1 now in the sixth inning. Gagne with a single, was also hit by a pitch. Takes a breaking pitch outside, 1-0.
Acker has been an effective reliever over the years with that sweeping slider you just saw and the sinker, but they have lost their sharpness, thus the higher numbers and more home runs.
So they call on Acker to keep this game from really getting out of hand. Gagne fouls the pitch back, 1-1.
Game has a similar atmosphere to game 2, when the Minnesota fans were sky high in game 1 and won the game, and then Toronto came back to take an early lead in game 2, and the crowd was very quiet. We have the same scene tonight.
One out, one on. 2 balls and a strike. We've talked about how ineffective the bottom 4 hitters have been for the Blue Jays in their lineup. Well, tonight the bottom 4 hitters for the Twins are 5 for 9 with 2 runs batted in. Gagne goes after a bad pitch. 2-2 now.
That is what has impressed American League managers about this Minnesota team, is that up and down the lineup they make more contact than any team in the American League. They're able to advance runners, and they hit equally well against lefties and righties. And that makes it very difficult for managers to set their pitching staff and align them in the field, because they have a lot of guys that use the entire field.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Gagne. He's out of there. Curveball, and Gagne's retired for the first time tonight, and that's out number 2. Along with Jim Cott and Leslie Visser. This is Dick Stockton here at the Sky Dome in Toronto, and once again you're going to see Kirby Puckett's home run that led off the 4th inning. And what a drive it was. He knew it. Center field seats. Dan Gladden, the hitter, takes a curveball inside, 1-0 the count. So there are 2 down. Pagliarulo at second base. Gladden drove in 2 runs with a big single, and that drove Todd Stottlemyre from the mound in the 4th inning. 1 for 3 for Gladden and a stolen base, and has the count in his favor, 2-0.
Mentioned the differences in the 2 domes, and we've seen it. The ball carries better at the Sky Dome than it does at the Metrodome, even though in the early years the Metrodome was known as a place you hit a lot of home runs.
Two-0 pitch and a line drive, base hit to left field. Coming around to score is Pagliarulo. It's now 6-1 in favor of the Twins, as Dan Gladden has driven in his 3rd run of the game.
not missing many mistakes. This team will hit some good pitches, pitchers' pitches, and then when you hang that sinker up there about belt high, they seldom miss those. Wilson with not much of an arm anymore in left field, and that allows Pagliarulo to score easily.
Here's Chuck Knobloch. He's not had a hit and hits a chopper to Manuel Lee. Gets the force to end the inning, but the Twins score 2 more and have opened up a 6-1 lead here in the middle of the 6th inning.
Introducing a car so intelligently engineered, its elegance and grace can be measured along these lines or graded on a curve. The 1992 Oldsmobile 88 Royale, beautifully redefined and nimble enough to prove that a straight line isn't always the best way to get from point A to point B. Oldsmobile, the power of intelligent engineering.
I hope you're enjoying your evening.
If you suffer from chronic halitosis, try Halo. Formulated...
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and...
The Allstate agent who helps insure your home can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. Allstate Life. Financial strength you can count on.
This is a McDonald's commercial, take one.
What's hot today?
The hottest part of McDonald's is the drive-thru. It's like fast, fast, fast.
Why do people come back here?
Because we have great low prices and people like that.
Great service day or night.
We're a lot quicker than other places for one thing.
I'll even put a clown nose on for them. You guys better than those guys down the street?
Oh, yeah!
We run circles around those guys down the street. What do you do when you make a mistake?
Fix it.
What's the funniest thing anybody's ever asked you in the drive-thru?
Can I have it to go? Whatever it takes.
That's McDonald's today.
You gotta be kidding. What's in is out, what's out is in. So many trends make my poor head spin. Don't sell me good taste, I know I taste good. While the best thing's always so misunderstood. Just give me what the doctor ordered. Just what the doctor ordered. Just give me a Dr. Pepper. We want it. Whoa, just what the doctor ordered. The taste is made to order. We love it. Whoa, just what the doctor.
What is Prozac, and why does it drive the Church of Scientology up the wall? It's an antidepressant that millions swear by. Should they? 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Well, Jim, the Twins have taken the crowd out of this game, but I think the big story here has to be where the Toronto Blue Jays are going to mount an offense. Carter is ailing. He's their big run producer, and the bottom part of the order has not done it so far.
It did early in the game, but that was shut down early by Jack Morris. I really think, you know, they talk about on the major league level it being just talent, but it's a little bit more than that. And I think the demoralizing loss last night, you know, what a draining game that was. And then the big 4th inning tonight, I think right now you're looking at a very demoralized Toronto team, and somebody in that dugout has got to, you know, kind of take a hold of the bat and say, let's get up there and get something going, or they're going to be out of this thing quickly.
Kelly Gruber 0 for 2. He's had as good a series as anyone on the Blue Jays team. He takes ball 1 after Olerud was retired. But I think as much as anything else, seeing Carter unable to really be himself has affected the Blue Jays as much as Pagliarulo's home run last night.
That's true, and what teams have to do in that situation is respond with a guy like Kelly Gruber saying, hey, Joe is not Joe, somebody else has got to do it.
And a line drive down the left field line, and Kelly may be that man. Gladden retrieves it, and Kelly Gruber sails into second with a double with 1 out here in the 6th.
Always ready for that thigh-high inside breaking ball. And nothing different with Gruber. He's healthy now, turning on the ball much better than he did early in the year when he had the thumb injury.
Hit number 6 against Jack Morris. Keep in mind that Morris did not last the 6th inning in game number 1, despite a lead. Candy Maldonado 1 for 2 with a single and has scored the lone Blue Jays run back in the 2nd inning. Ground ball into the hole. Gloved by Gagne. Guns it over to first in time. Gruber goes to third, but there are 2 down.
I recall the play early in the game when Manuel Lee had this same opportunity. He tried to throw it off balance. Watch Gagne learn to do this watching one of his heroes, Rick Burleson. Plant the foot, get more on the throw. That's the old fundamental proper way to play shortstop. And he may win a Gold Glove this year with Ripken. They may be the 2 best in the American League.
Gruber is at third with 2 away. Pat Borders, who's 2 for 2 with a single. He drove in the Toronto run. Fouls it off for a strike. You mentioned Rick Burleson, and he is the new batting instructor for the Boston Red Sox. He served in that job with the Oakland A's this year. Now we'll go back to Boston with the new manager, Butch Hobson. And another familiar face. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, 0-2.
Old Zim, Don Zimmer, will be back with the Red Sox, coaching third base. An opportunity to revamp the management team with the Red Sox, bringing in Butch Hobson. That's a trend that I think a lot of organizations are doing now. Minnesota did it with Tom Kelly, and in 1 year they won a world championship.
A lot of people are surprised that Zimmer gone back to Boston. He used to be the third base coach before he became the manager. 0-2, the count to Borders, and a ground ball that's fair down the line. Could be extra bases. Scoring is Gruber, and Borders is in safely at second, and it's a 6-2 game. Pat Borders is 3 for 3 tonight.
Borders has done his part to pick up the bottom of that order. You better have a lot on it to get it past Pat Borders on the inside. He is so conscious of the inside pitch, gets that barrel out. No chance for Pagliarulo.
Six to 2 the score. A pair of doubles here. And here is Manuel Lee, 0 for 12 in this series. Hacks at the first pitch and fouls it off for a strike.
Familiar baseball fan, Commissioner Vincent, in his box next to the Toronto dugout.
Blue Jays have turned on the crowd a bit here. 6-2 to score, and a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Gagne should make the play, and that'll retire the side. The Blue Jays get a run. Jack Morris has retired the side in the 6th. It's 6-2 as we go to the 7th.
Any knucklehead can score.
Who said that?
You did.
Oh, yeah. As I was saying,
Any knucklehead can score.
a rebounding takes brains.
And wit.
And good looks.
And charm.
And a nice haircut.
And a warm heart.
And big shoes. And a kind disposition. And a beautiful smile. And a certain savoir-faire. Don't you agree? Most certainly. And a catchy slogan. And a nice logo.
A new arrival. A tire so special, it may last as long as you own your car. The new XH4. Congratulations. It's a Michelin.
Like Rice Krispies, try triples. We think you'll do a triple take. Triples is crisp like Rice Krispies and tastes so good, you might just do a triple take. Triples has tasty Rice Crisps, hearty Wheat Crisps, and sunny Corn Crisps for a taste that could have you doing a triple take. So if you like Rice Krispies, taste triples. From General Mills, we think you'll do a triple take.
It was a dumb argument. It all started when she said she went to the GM dealership for an oil change. How long did it take, I asked. Less than 29 minutes, she said. Look, well, what, did they do anything else or just change the oil? She said they checked the fluids and everything. In less than 29 minutes, guaranteed. She said, no way. I said, then she said, Why don't you ever believe me? That's when I knew I was in trouble. Thanks.
Your GM dealer's serious about putting service back in the service department. So try Mr. Goodwrench Quick Lube Plus for a change.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 American League Championship Series is brought to you by Buick and your local Buick dealers. Buick, the new symbol for quality in America. Magnavox, smart choices for smart people. The ingenious products from Magnavox. They're smart, very smart. And by Mr. Goodwrench and your participating GM dealers, keeping quality on the road.
Back at the Sky Dome, you may have noticed during this series that first baseman John Olerud wears a helmet in the field. This is not related to his fielding ability. 2.5 years ago, he underwent surgery for an aneurysm in his brain. There's good news, though. That was while he was a student at Washington State University. There's good news. His father is a neurosurgeon, and he oversaw the treatments. Dick?
All right, Leslie, thank you very much. And really one of the nicest young men you'll see. John Olerud, quiet. We saw him in the elevator going up to the press box.
And talented. You know, he was drafted when the Blue Jays drafted him, not knowing whether he would play first or pitch. Great pitcher on the college level.
Kirby Puckett, 2 hits, including a home run. First pitch off of Timlin, the new pitcher, and everyone's he'll be safe at first with a single. So that's a fine way to greet Mike Timlin. Kirby Puckett 3 for 4 tonight.
Doubt if there's any hitter in baseball that hits the ball with more authority up the middle than Puckett. Several years ago, he had a pitcher named Steve Shields in the face with a line shot. And that's his philosophy on pitching. Hit it hard up the middle. Timlin tries to react. Can't get there in time.
Galen Cisco running to the mound now to make sure that Timlin is all right. Mike gave up the home run to Pagliarulo last night in the 10th inning. That proved to be the game winner and a blemish in an otherwise superb performance by the Blue Jays relievers in this series.
And again, they have to bring in one of their top 4 relievers like Timlin in a game like this. And if the Blue Jays don't win, it just puts more pressure on Candiotti or Guzman, whoever would be the pitcher tomorrow, to give them some innings.
Ken Herbeck 0 for 3 tonight. Fouls the pitch back for a strike. Herbeck now 1 for 14 in this series, but the Twins have managed to stake a 2-1 lead in the series and a 6-2 advantage in this game, playing the 7th inning. Fastball 1-1 to Herbeck.
Leslie mentioned John Olerud wearing that helmet in the field. You know, the Blue Jays draw 4 million here, but on the road, they're the last team in the American League at drawing people. And there's actually still fans out there that heckle John Olerud a little bit about thinking he's a bad fielder. That's why he wears that.
And a chopper. Charging it is Alomar. He gets Herbeck. Does not have the world of speed. Puckett advances to second, and there's 1 out. So Herbeck's woes at the plate continue. Tomorrow it all begins at 12:30 Eastern Time. The Saints against the Eagles at Veterans Stadium. New Orleans undefeated. Boy, they're command in the West Division in the NFC. Phoenix against Minnesota. Atlanta against San Francisco. And those 4 will start it off with the NFL Today beginning at 12:30 Eastern Time. And they're going to walk Davis with first base open and pitch to Brian Harper with 1 out.
Remember Dick Allen, Richard Anthony, they called him Crash Allen in Philadelphia. I think he was the last first baseman I saw that wore the batting helmet in the field. And he did it because the fans in Philadelphia were a little abusive to him in the early years of his career.
But even on artificial turf, he would have used that dirt patch to send a message, as he often did, right?
His own little penmanship there.
Hey, roller!
Davis is on board now with Puckett at second with 1 out. Brian Harper doubled his last time up. 1 for 3. Now it's the job of Timlin to try to prevent the Twins from getting any more runs. Strike 1 to Harper. Timlin is the fourth Blue Jay pitcher. Todd Stottlemyre started and worked 3 2/3 innings. Was knocked out in the fourth. Wells worked an inning in 2/3 and Acker 2/3 of an inning. Third baseman Gruber throws the ball away. Try to go for the force and threw it away. Kirby Puckett will score. Davis will go to third base as the throw comes in. And Kelly Gruber may be charged with his third error of this series, and the Twins get the run back and lead it 7-2.
Gruber threw it away, but Roberto Alomar, for some reason, was intimidated by Chili Davis sliding at second. Right there, Gruber makes the call to cut in front of Manuel Lee. Watch Alomar back out of the picture. Either the throw was so far offline that Alomar could not reach for it, or he just felt that he could not get across the bag. Right there, see, he backs off the play. I think that throw was so far inside toward Chili Davis, Alomar had no chance to leap and catch it.
They scored a fielder's choice and an error charge to Gruber. Shane Mack bounces one foul. Strike one. So Gruber, one of the better fielding third basemen, has had his moments. 3 errors in this series.
And if he has a flaw when he's in the field, it is the throws. I think all of his errors have been throwing errors. And the thumb earlier in the year was a cause for most of them, but that supposedly is 100% healthy now. Of course, a fielder depends on rhythm, just like a pitcher and a hitter to get into.
Mack is 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. The 0-1 pitch to Shane. 1 ball and 1 strike. So this crowd, which had settled down and looking at a big deficit in this game, got a little excited when the Blue Jays scored a run in the 6th inning. Now they're quiet again. Here's the 1-1 and a look over to first base. Blue Jays have brought their infield in. Line drive off to the right out of play. They cannot allow any other runs to score, trailing now 7-2. Earlier today, the Atlanta Braves, playing their first game of the series at home, trounced the Pirates 10-3, lead 2-1 in a game in which there were 5 home runs.
And you see, despite the 10-3 score, there was a save by Alejandro Pena, which means the Pirates made a little late game threat and the Braves put it out of reach.
Swing and a miss. Shane Mack is retired. 2 away in the 7th inning.
The sinking fastball that didn't sink last night for Timlin. That's when Pagliarulo hit the home run, but this one does, and Shane Mack will swing right over the top of it. Good sinking action on the fastball. Early in the year, Timlin was compared a great deal to Twins right-hander Scott Erickson for that heavy sinking fastball.
Timlin now facing Mike Pagliarulo. Swing and a miss for a strike. He's been the hero in this game for the Twins with a single and a double, 2 RBIs, and a great defensive play at third. And he was the hero last night.
Get into this part of the series, you start looking at who's the outstanding player in the series. He's getting a leg up on it.
Sure is. And a high fly ball to right field. Maldonado is under it and makes the catch. The Twins get a run. It is unearned, but nonetheless, in the middle of the 7th inning, it's 7-2 in favor of Minnesota.
Once again, Buick is raising the banner for quality in America. Introducing the 1992 LeSabre with a higher level of power, safety, security, and convenience. This new LeSabre is going to be one tough act to follow. LeSabre for 1992 from Buick.
How much insulation do you have in your attic? 3 inches? 6 inches? Well, the Department of Energy recommends R38 for most American homes, which is equivalent to a foot of Owens Corning pink fiberglass. So grab a ruler and measure your attic insulation. Then get rolling. And get a foothold on your energy bills. For more information, call 1-800-GET-PINK.
It's football time. Your ball, Joe.
I'm hurting, Jimmy.
I did it. You can do it.
This isn't tennis. This is football pain.
My doc says ibuprofen for body pain. The medicine in Nuprin.
My trainer, same thing.
So Nupit.
Nupit. Nupit with Nuprin.
Strong stuff.
Just takes one.
Cheer up, Joe. There's always tennis.
Yeah, Jimmy? You think I'm old enough?
For back, joint, or muscle pain.
Nupit.
Nupit. With Nuprin.
The body pain medicine.
There's something new. You're gonna love it. From KFC, it's called the Go Bucket.
KFC introduces $5.99 Go Buckets. Choose any kind, just $5.99.
Nobody's cooking like today's KFC.
In today's financial climate, you need the strength and stability of the Buffalo. At Hennessy and Bull.
Still going. Nothing outlasts the Energizer. They keep going and going and...
Tell me, oh wisest Swami, what's the answer? Well, the Eagles have a most difficult defense, but the Saints are unbelievably undefeated. I wish I had a television.
Seventh inning stretch time. OK Blue Jays, let's play ball is the chant by the fans.
That's what they would like to see them do.
Mookie Wilson swings and misses on a fastball. 0-2. Jack Morris has allowed 2 runs on 7 hits, has walked 1 and struck out 3. 2 of those 3 strikeouts were to Joe Carter, who gamely has played despite a bad ankle, but has been no help to the Blue Jays offense. Not himself, 0 for 3 tonight.
Not only does that hurt them production-wise, but after that game last night we talked about, very demoralizing to this team.
0-2 pitch up the middle. Gagne got a glove on it, and Mookie Wilson is safe at first base. So the Blue Jays have the leadoff man aboard here in the 7th inning. It's a base hit.
Now this ball hits the sliding pit at second base. Gagne trying to decide quickly whether he can get there in time to catch it in the air. He can. And see, when it hits that turf, it takes a little bit of an irregular bounce. Only chance he had was to pick it and throw it at the same time with Wilson's speed. Couldn't do it.
Herbeck checking with the dugout to see how they want to play this right now. Wilson is aboard and trailing by 5 runs. The Blue Jays need base runners right now as White comes to the plate. In a similar situation in the 5th inning, Wilson led off with a walk, and then White hit back to the box. Fastball as they look for the possible bunt with Pagliarulo at third coming in. And no strikes, and I guess if he would bunt, he'd be bunting for a base hit, of course.
No question. You see Morris look into the holding that chest. I think still bothered by a little bit of that upper respiratory condition. A very, very deep cough and a glance into the Twins dugout.
But he didn't get it riding that motorcycle to the game. Remember what he told us? 2 balls and no strikes to Devon White. He went around on that one, 2-1. White 1 for 3 with a single tonight. Twins lead 7-2. The Blue Jays batting in the 7th inning. Swing and a miss on a fastball. 2-2 of the 5 men that the Blue Jays have left on base this evening. 4 were in scoring position.
Oftentimes, managers make a lot of decisions, talk about strategy, second guess, but nothing will solve a lot of those problems like 2-out hits. Last night, the Blue Jays had a chance in the 4th and the 5th, 2 on, 2 out, didn't get it done. And tonight again, in the middle of this one, when they still had an opportunity, they squandered it with 2 on and 2 out.
Twins bullpen is working with Mark Guthrie and Steve Bedrosian. Here's the pitch. Misses, and a full count to Devon White with Roberto Alomar on deck. There goes the runner, and the pitch is bounced off of Herbeck, but right into the hands of Knobloch, and makes the play to Herbeck for the out. So everything is bouncing the Twins' way as White is retired and Mookie Wilson moves to second.
Boy, isn't that the truth, bouncing the Twins' way. First of all, Herbeck, usually very sure-handed, misses that ball and it hops right to Knobloch. Crushing blow for Toronto with that infield hit. Could have got them right back in a position to get in this game. Bounce of the ball.
3-4-3, an unusual put out. And here's Roberto Alomar, robbed of extra bases by Mike Pagliarulo. His last time up, he's 1 for 3 with a single and a stolen base. Fly ball hit to center field. Kirby Puckett makes the catch. Going back to second is Wilson, and there are 2 down. So the Blue Jays with another runner in scoring position, and now there are 2 down. Sky Dome in Toronto, game 4, and the Minnesota Twins are leading. Pat Borders knocked in a run. Kirby Puckett tied it with a home run. Pagliarulo put the Twins in front to stay. Dan Gladden with 3 runs batted in. Pagliarulo having a big game as well. He has knocked in 2 runs. Borders with 3 hits and 2 RBIs. And Gruber has made his 3rd miscue. Here's Joe Carter with 2 outs. He struck out twice.
ESPN.
1 ball and 1 strike. Blue Jays scored a run in the 6th inning to make the score 6-2, and then the Twins answered with an unearned run in the 7th. Now in the bottom of the 7th inning, 1-1 the count to Carter with a runner at second, and the ground ball hit weakly to third. Pagliarulo makes the play, and that'll retire the side, and the Blue Jays get a hit and leave another one in scoring position. We've completed 7 here at the Sky Dome with the Twins leading 7-2.
How'd you get those flowers in there? Glade potpourri, it freshens the air. Where'd you get them herbs and spice? Glade potpourri, it smells so nice.
And now, there's new, longer-lasting Glade Carpet Potpourri. So now the freshness lasts even longer. Spray it, shake it, or pump it.
Noah potpourris like Glade.
Some people perspire.
We sweat.
The only protection for us?
New Arid XX Sports Scent.
It's the only leading sports solid that doesn't leave a white flaky mess.
New Arid XX Sports Scent helps keep us extra
dry.
I'm visiting my in-laws. I smoke. They don't.
No bother. I've got Wrigley Spearmint Gum. That cool, clean taste is most inviting. When I can't smoke, I enjoy pure chewing satisfaction.
With the chalky taste of some antacids, it can seem that the cure is worse than the pain. Introducing new Mylanta Cherry and Cool Mint Creams, the best tasting antacids. Blended creamier for a non-chalky taste.
No wonder my doctor said Mylanta.
These days, there are more pain relievers than ever. But last year, more people switched to Tylenol gel caps than any other. Extra strength Tylenol gel caps. Concentrated, powerful, easy to swallow. Join the switch to Tylenol gel caps.
It's happening. Some people are climbing out of their imports and getting into the 1992 Buick Regal sedan. Why? One simple, overwhelming consideration. Quality. Buick quality. It's something you might want to get into yourself. Regal from Buick. The new symbol for quality in America and beyond.
This game summary is sponsored by Budweiser.
Mike Pagliarulo with 2 hits and 2 RBIs. Pat Borders has tried to keep the Blue Jays in the game. Kirby Puckett with his best game by far in the series, but it is 7-2 in favor of the Twins. And here in the 8th inning, Greg Gagne, swing and a miss from Mike Timlin, strike 1.
Juan Guzman keeping the pitching chart. Maybe they've changed their mind.
Bounding ball down the third base line, foul. Tom Candiotti, remember, got the nod in game number 1. And he did not last the 3rd inning. And before the game, Cito Gaston says Candiotti's still my man. But Guzman would be available on 3 days rest, and he pitched the Jays to their only victory thus far.
Of course, keeping that chart, pitchers will tell you that there's 2 jobs a starting pitcher tries to avoid. Keeping the chart, which you do the night before he pitches. During batting practice, backing up the balls behind second base are boring, nothing to do. So Candiotti may have struck a little deal. Said, hey, how about you keeping the pitching chart?
Couldn't you tell him you had a little cramp in your hand?
Keep those knuckles, those fingernails sharpened up for that knuckleball.
2 strikes, the count to Gagne. And he's out of there on a breaking pitch. That's the 2nd strikeout for Timlin. 1 gone in the 8th inning. And here it is again. By popular demand, Kirby Puckett's home run in the 4th inning. Leading off as the Twins batted around and scored 4 runs and knocked the starter Todd Stottlemyre from the mound. Here's Dan Gladden. We talk about all the heroes for the Twins. He quietly has knocked in 3 runs tonight. Looks at a breaking ball, 1-0.
And he is a player that with a week to go in the season, there was still some question as to whether he would be the starting left fielder. He was in a batting slump at the end of the year. Gene Larkin was ready to step in.
On the inside corner, that pitch 1-1. Sounds a little bit like New Year's Eve, like at 4 in the morning. Some of the revelers trying to keep the spirit going here in Toronto. Fastball taken, 1-2.
Not accustomed to see what's happening to their team tonight in Toronto because Minnesota has not defeated Toronto back-to-back games this season.
Atlanta winning today to take a 2-1 lead in the National League Series. Game 4 tomorrow night. Jack Buck and Tim McCarver will bring that game to you. During the regular year, the Blue Jays beat the Twins 4 out of 6 here at the Sky Dome. Holds up 2-2 now.
And 4 out of 6 at the Metrodome. But most of the games, unlike this, very close, decided by just a little play here or there. This is not like a Twins-Blue Jays game of the regular season.
And chopper, Lee better hurry, and he doesn't throw. And Gladden is safe at first with his third hit of the game. He came into the game 2 for 13 in the series, and now 3 for 5 here in game 4.
Well, you mentioned the ball bouncing right for Minnesota. Recall the ball that bounced off Herbeck's chest and to Knobloch for an out, and here's just a high bouncer off the plate. Manuel Lee has no chance to throw. Another favorable bounce for Minnesota.
One away, and Gladden is aboard, and Chuck Knobloch. Leading Twins hitter in the series coming in hitless this evening. And there goes Gladden. He got a good jump and a bounding ball. Lee has one play, and he's safe at first base is Knobloch as Olerud tried to backhand that low throw. Gladden will go to third.
Tom Kelly trying to stay out of the double play and add to the lead. Gladden never hesitates. He knows once Lee commits to go to first. And the low throw not picked up by Olerud. Again, the off-balance throw. Not quite as accurate as when you plant your foot and throw.
Knobloch aboard for the first time in this game. An error has been charged to Manuel Lee. That's the second error of the game. To Toronto, they bring the infield in now with runners at first and third and one out. And Kirby Puckett, who has singled, homered, and singled, has scored 2 runs and a big chance here. Pops it up down the right field line. Alomar chases it in foul ground and makes a beautiful catch. Tagging up, however, and coming in to score is Gladden. And going to second base is Knobloch. So Gladden, an alert base runner, comes in and scores, and it's now 8-2 in favor of the Twins.
Oh, you talk about Roberto Alomar, you talk about range, and he and Jose Lean to the Pirates said to have more than any second baseman. He did a great job there at checking the stands, knowing exactly where he was, and trying to catch the ball and turn and throw to home. But Gladden alertly tagged up and scored.
And that'll go as a sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Kirby Puckett. So he's having himself quite a night here as the Twins now lead 8-2. And Ken Herbeck lifts a high fly ball to left center field. Mookie Wilson is under it, and that'll do it in the 8th inning. The Minnesota Twins with a commanding lead here, trying to open up a 3-1 advantage in the series.
Once again, Buick is raising the banner for quality in America. Introducing the 1992 LeSabre with a higher level of power, safety, security, and convenience. This new LeSabre is going to be one tough act to follow. LeSabre for 1992 from Buick.
As usual, my brother found a way to get me in trouble. And by the time I got out, our bus was gone. And so was he. That's when I started running. Because no way was I going to let him beat me home.
At AT&T, we know every great athlete has been inspired by someone. As a proud sponsor of the U.S. Olympic team, we salute them all.
My brother, he still gets a kick out of seeing me run.
The Allstate agent who helps insure your car can give you a hand with a plan for life insurance. Life insurance. Your Allstate agent wants to be your agent for life. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Hello? This is Thelma downstairs. What was that?
Diet Dr. Pepper. It tastes more like regular Dr. Pepper.
Can I try one?
I'll send George right down.
When her car needed a new battery, you got the heavy-duty model. When the tires started to wear, you spent a little more for the good ones. And even though the brakes could have made it a while longer, you said replace them. And now that fall's here, you're using Prestone Antifreeze. Its patented formula exceeds every performance standard set for the antifreeze industry. For corrosion and freeze-up protection, Prestone, we make it better than we have to. For some very good reasons.
You're watching CBS Sports coverage of the American League Championship Series.
back at the Sky Dome, Mel Stottlemyre isn't the only father in attendance. I'm here with Charlie Pagliarulo, the proud father of the man who was the hero of the last 24 hours. Charlie, had a pretty good view for your son's home run.
That was fantastic. I can't say enough of Mike. I can't say enough of all these ball players on the Minneapolis, Minnesota club. They're playing a great game. They should wipe them out.
You played minor league ball, and in the spring you actually pitched to your son?
Yeah, I give him a hand so he can keep active during the winter months.
How's your knuckleball?
Not too good. Not too good.
Thanks a lot. Back to you, Dick.
All right, Leslie, and I hope Candiotti, if he gets the nod, has the knuckleball going tomorrow night. If it's Candiotti or Guzman. But Pagliarulo with a great smile, having a terrific, as you say, putting his bid in late.
You know, you were talking about the Red Sox a while ago. Remember a pitcher named Bill Monboquette? He's out in the Blue Jays bullpen. And Charlie Pagliarulo, Mike's father, went to school back in Boston, competed against one another, and played on the same team occasionally.
Olerud lines a base hit to right field. First time John is hit safely. Leadoff single here in the 8th inning.
Quiet hands, quiet hit, good hitting prospect. Drawn a lot of walks in this series. And evidence Jack Morris will pitch according to the scoreboard. With a lead like this, Blue Jays hitters are going to get more pitches in the strike zone to hit.
Here's Kelly Gruber, who doubled his last time up. 8-2 the score. The ball gets away from Harper, and Olerud will advance to second base.
Most of the time when you see the wild pitch, it's a forkball. That's no exception. Brian Harper had no chance on that. That ball hit the lip. Watch where it hits. Right in front of the plate. It hit the lip of the plate and kicked straight up.
That's the second wild pitch of the night for Jack Morris. Morris has already gone longer than any starting pitcher has in this series. Working here in the 8th inning. 1-0 the count to Gruber. Olerud now at second. And the count is 2-1 to Gruber. 2-0 to Gruber. And again, we've got to tell you, Morris pitching with 3 days rest for only the second time this year.
He is one pitcher that Tom Kelly will allow to take that pitch count up into the 125, 135 range. And what it does is rest the Minnesota bullpen on the verge of taking a 3-1 lead. On the other hand, Toronto, look at that pitch count, has had to use their bullpen day after day.
2 balls and no strikes to Gruber. 8-2 in favor of the Twins. And it's popped up. Knobloch and Gagne again in the middle, but Gagne makes the catch for out number 1. Guthrie and Bedrosian, who were up earlier, are throwing again in the Twins bullpen, but the Blue Jays are cooperating. They're not taking advantage of some of the opportunities they've had with leadoff men aboard here. Here is Candy Maldonado. In 3 of the last 4 innings, the Blue Jays have managed to get the leadoff man on and have only scored 1 run. Maldonado is 1 for 3 with a base hit. Has a run scored tonight. Ball 1 to Candy.
Team statistics can be very deceiving and overrated, and one of them is team batting average. What managers want, what you referred to, hitters that'll get big 2-out hits and get them with men in scoring position.
Two balls and no strikes. In the last 2 games, the Blue Jays are a horrendous 3 for 20 with runners in scoring position. For Ken Herbeck in foul territory. He's got it for out number 2. The New Orleans Saints. How strong they look with Bobby Hebert at quarterback and a great defense. Maybe the best in the NFC. They go against Philadelphia tomorrow. Phoenix and Minnesota. Some of you will see the Atlanta Falcons against the 49ers. They'll be playing at Candlestick Park. And it all begins with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern. I don't have to tell you, that's the last word before kickoff, Jim.
The baseball spirit in Minnesota, obviously high, but the football spirit, different. Vikings, a little bit of a frustrating year for football fans up there.
Here's Pat Borders. He's been like a beacon in the night for the Blue Jays in this game offensively. 3 for 3, 2 singles and a double, and he's knocked home both of the Blue Jays' runs. 2 outs. Olerud is on at second base. Fastball and a strike. We have a pinch hitter on deck, Rance Mullenix. If Borders can keep it alive, we'll bat for Manuel Lee. Mullenix has been the designated hitter in the first 3 games of this series. Chopper to third. Pagliarulo waits for the bounce, and that'll do it. So Mullenix won't get a chance this inning. Another runner left in scoring position for the Jays. It's 8-2 as we go to the 9th.
Go on, Oscar. Go on, boy. Oh, look, a tennis ball. Look at that, buddy. Hey, get the paper, boy. Go on.
Oscar's no fool. No way is he going to leave the comfort of Carrier's high-efficiency gas heat.
Why don't you just get the leash, Frank?
Me? I'm not going out.
Carrier makes it better inside. Natural gas makes it more affordable. For home heating, for cooking, or hot water, use clean natural gas. America's best energy value.
For centuries, mankind has looked to the heavens for the extraordinary. Starting November 1st, it can again. In the friendly skies. Introducing Connoisseur Class, only on United. A truly elevated form of international business class. Come fly the airline that's uniting the world. Come fly the friendly skies.
So I'm in the grocery store, and this really good-looking guy smiles at me and says,
Hi.
Hi. Kellogg's Bread Flakes?
Oh, well, these aren't mine. My folks are visiting.
He didn't have to be embarrassed. I love Kellogg's Bran Flakes. They have this nutty, toasted wheat taste that is really great. Anyway, I grab a box of Kellogg's Bran Flakes and say, gee, that's too bad. I was going to compliment your good taste.
The toasted taste of Kellogg's Bran Flakes.
They're not what you expect.
There's a first time for everything. Your first love, first kiss, first date, first job, and your first new car. For more people, that first new car is Chevy Cavalier. A simple, solid value that'll get you through the changes until the next first time. The cars more people depend on.
That's today's Chevrolet.
Well, the League Championship Series, Game 5, 1986. Great moments in the championship play with the Red Sox one strike away from elimination. Dave Henderson's 2-run homer put Boston ahead, 6-5. Henderson later knocked in the winning run in the top of the 11th as Boston came back from a 3-1 deficit to take the series 4-3. That was 5 years ago today in a memorable American League Championship Series game. Bob McDonald, a left-hander, is on. He is the 5th pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. He's making his first appearance in the series, as did Jim Acker earlier tonight.
McDonald got a chance to work out of the bullpen in that left-hand relief role because of the injury or illness, really, of Ken Daly. There's a high-priced free agent the Blue Jays have been without the entire year because of an inner ear problem.
Chili Davis leading off. Fouls off the first pitch. He doubled in 3 trips, also walked intentionally. And let's not forget Dave Steve, who with his back injury. So the Blue Jays lost a starting pitcher and a reliever this year, nonetheless won their division.
To George Bell's credit, he never thought the Blue Jays would be as good a team this year, but he went into Pat Gillick and said, you're right, you are a better team.
Line drive, that's a fair ball down the right field line into the corner. Maldonado retrieves and into second base with his second double of the game is Chili Davis. And the Minnesota Twins, with the aura of a champion right here.
Mentioned preparation in Tom Kelly, and Minnesota probably prepares with manager Kelly and his coaching staff, Terry Crowley, the hitting coach, as well as anyone in the game. That's an example of it. Davis, a power hitter in a game like this, you would think would be tempted to try to pull the ball, but he doesn't. He takes it the other way.
Brian Harper looks at strike one, so 4 doubles by the Minnesota Twins, and Puckett's home run, their extra base hit. Harper has a 2-base hit tonight. 8-2 the score, the Twins in front. And we're going to have a pinch runner for Chili Davis. That'll be Jarvis Brown, who was added to the roster for just the purpose of pinch running in the series.
Opportunity to get into postseason play. Jarvis Brown, a good outfielder, and in close games would give the Twins some speed off the bench. That's the reason he's on the postseason roster.
Foul back, 2 strikes. Twins scoring 4 runs in the 4th inning, and that was the big story tonight. Batting around and knocking out Todd Stottlemyre, then 2 in the 6th and single runs in the 7th and 8th. They got a man in scoring position here in the 9th inning. Fly ball down the right field line, and that will be into the stands. Two problems the Jays face going into tomorrow's 5th game. Of course, they've got to decide whether it's Guzman or Candiata, the starting pitcher, but more than anything else, how to manufacture runs.
And when you're down, apparently down 3-1, everyone talks about the M word, momentum. And every manager will tell you, it's starting pitching. You send a guy to the mound like Minnesota has Jack Morris tonight or Tom Candiati tomorrow, that'll set the tone the first 5 or 6 innings and give your team a chance to score some runs. When you fall behind early, as Toronto did tonight, makes it that much more difficult on the lineup.
Harper reaches out and lifts a fly ball. Right fielder Maldonado makes the catch. Jarvis Brown will tag, and he will get into third safely and just barely. Good throw from the outfield.
Maldonado with a strong, accurate throw, and watch Gruber. He's going to be very nonchalant, as if not to let Jarvis Brown know that the throw is close, and it's very close. The Blue Jays outfielders, Carter injured tonight, but Carter, White, and Maldonado, all with accurate throwing arms. Closer than Jarvis Brown thought it would be, that play.
Midfield in with a runner at third. Shane Mack takes strike 1. 1 for 3 tonight for Mack. Much of the crowd has departed, hoping for better things tomorrow. 8-2 is the score. Braves took a 2-1 lead over the Pirates. A great story in Atlanta, winning on the next to last day of the season.
Series down there dominated by left-handed pitching, this one by right-handers.
Still 0-2 to Shane Mack.
Much is made of pitching on 3 days rest. You look at Jack Morris's numbers tonight. He's thrown 110 pitches through 8 innings, only 37 balls, only walked 1, right? And that's what normally happens on 3 days rest. You may not throw as hard, but usually your control is sharper.
Fly ball to center field, and that'll be deep enough to get a run home. White with the catch, and Jarvis Brown will score easily to add to the Twins' lead, which is now 9-2, and an RBI for Mack, his first of the game and second of the series.
Dugouts can sure tell you a lot about how things are going. That was a run even in an 8-2 ball game. A double. Harper hits the ball the other way to advance the runner in a sacrifice fly. They treat it like it's a game-winning run.
Well, tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern time, we'll be here for Game 5, and it could be a possible clinching game for the Minnesota Twins as they send Kevin Tapani against either Guzman or Candiotti of the Blue Jays. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern time, the Pirates and Braves, as the Pirates try to come back in tough Atlanta to even the series. We're going to have a pinch hitter now. Scott Leyes will bat for Mike Pagliarulo. Right-hander against the left-hander. Leyes was the starter at third base last night against Jimmy Key. Bob McDonald, pitcher number 5 for the Blue Jays tonight, and ball 1 taken by Leyes. Leyes was 0 for 3 last night. 2-0. Three balls and no strikes to the pinch hitter. Twins tonight playing with a world of confidence. And Leyes walks on 4 pitches. At the conclusion of tonight's game, Jim Cott and I will select the Chevrolet Most Valuable Player of the game. Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in the player's behalf to the Special Olympics. 2 away and a runner at first base. Greg Gagne singled, was hit by a pitch, and has struck out his last 2 times. 9-2 in favor of the Twins, and the fly ball hit to center field. White is in to make the catch, and that'll do it. 1 run on a hit. And we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. The Blue Jays need 7 to tie.
My hands were steady. My eyes were clear and bright.
Chevy owners get all the breaks.
My walk had purpose. My steps were quick and light. And I held firm to what I felt was right. Like a rock.
Every 92 Chevy pickup, Astro, Suburban, and Blazer gives you anti-lock brakes standard. Chevrolet. The trucks you can depend on. The trucks that last.
Oh, like a rock.
Want to trade? What you got? Give me the orange juice, I'll give you my sandwich. I got a sandwich. Give me the orange juice for my donut. Half deodorant. Deal.
There's nothing like 100% pure Florida quality orange juice with the vitamins, minerals, and taste that make you feel so good.
Hey, you drank more than half. I had to. My half was at the bottom.
100% pure Florida quality orange juice. It makes you feel so good.
It's $18.95, Dave.
For what?
For that.
For this?
That'll be $11.40, Dave.
Wow, things are sure expensive. That's why Wendy's Super Value Menu is great. Everything is 99 cents each. Our baked potato, junior bacon cheeseburger, and our biggie fries. There's even a new Caesar side salad and junior cheeseburger deluxe.
With what things cost, it's nice to get a break once in a while.
28 even, Dave.
I'm going to get a smaller car.
Now get 9 delicious choices for 99 cents each at Wendy's.
I don't want gimmicks. I want just a phone company I can count on.
You know, we're going to see this dramatic drop in our phone bill, and we didn't.
And it was just like a hassle figuring out both bills, both sets, and so we just said, hey, you know, we just scrapped it.
The service wasn't there. So I went to AT&T and stayed with AT&T.
And I've been happy with them ever since. And it's just been great.
Get back the service and value you deserve. Come back to AT&T now for free.
It's 9-2. The Twins lead. They're 3 outs away from a 3-1 lead, commanding lead in the series. Not many people come back from that kind of deficit. What are the Blue Jays' chances?
Well, how many postseason series have we seen in all sports when you hear all the percentages? Nobody comes back from 3-1. You know what it takes? A well-pitched game by Tom Candiotti. That turns the whole thing around. You can never say this series is over. Tom Kelly knows that. Cito Gaston does. It's all dependent on the man on the mound. The team that pitches the best wins. So far, it's been the Twins.
Well, the Blue Jays have been on the other end of it. In 1985, they had a 3-1 lead over the Kansas City Royals and lost the series in 7 games. Rance Mullenix is batting for Manuel Lee, leading off the 9th inning, and takes a fastball for a strike. Scott Leyes replaces Pagliarulo at third, and Steve Bedrosian makes his 2nd appearance of the series to finish it off for Jack Morris. Pitches inside. Bedrosian gave up an unearned run. Otherwise, the Minnesota Twins bullpen has been perfect in the series. Weren't many innings, as you look at the line score, that the Twins did not get something in an inning.
And that series you referred to, see Bedrosian's grip on the baseball. That's been the concern. He lost the feeling in those fingers for a while. Couldn't grip it, couldn't feel it.
3-1 now to Mullenix, who's 1 for 7 in this series.
I think that's why Tom Kelly, bringing him into this game with a 7-run lead, wants to find out, can I depend on Bedrosian in future games?
And he walks it.
Go back to that series you referred to it. Do the Blue Jays have a chance? How did Kansas City come back in that series? Not only in the championship series, but in the World Series. Brett Saberhagen, Danny Jackson, good pitching. That'll turn things around in a hurry.
But the teams that take a 3-1 lead have won 83% of the series in postseason.
Yeah, and the teams that play, we look at things like that. When you play, you don't. Remember the '86 playoffs? Houston and the Mets, and they posted the numbers of Nolan Ryan, how many leads he lost after the 7th inning, but he did that day, and that's the only day it counts.
Here's Mookie Wilson, 1 for 2 with a single. Fastball and a strike. In 4 of the last 5 innings, the Blue Jays had the leadoff man on. 2-1.
Most difficult time to throw a strike when you're a pitcher is when you have to. And Bedrosian knows right now Mookie Wilson is taking, but he's throwing and not pitching.
3-1 to Mookie Wilson.
See it a lot with relief pitchers. Put a couple men on base when they think ground ball double play, they pitch. Games like this, they throw. They don't get it in the strike zone.
Foul tip into the mid. 3 balls and 2 strikes. I think the big concern for the Blue Jays, they need a good pitch game, but they've got to get some runs, and they've got to be concerned about their run production, especially with Joe Carter ailing. 3-2 pitch, and Mookie strikes out, and there's 1 gone in the 9th inning. Well, we want to thank some people, our fine crew. And the coordinating producer of Major League Baseball on CBS is Rick LaCivita. Tonight's telecast was produced by Bob Dekas and directed by Bob Fishman. The senior producer of CBS Sports is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer of CBS Sports is Ted Shaker. Here is Devon White with 1 out. Fastball, strike 1. White is 1 for 4, but twice has had an opportunity with the leadoff man on and has not been able to advance the runner. Did he go around? He did. So no ball, 2 strike count to White.
See if the barrel passes the plate by a long ways.
High chopper, charging it is Gagne. Throw to first, and the throw is wild. Going to third base, Rance Mullenix. Gagne had to hurry his throw to get the fleet Devon White, who's aboard now. First and third for the Blue Jays.
That's rare on both ends. Gagne making an errant throw and Herbeck missing the scoop. Didn't get the glove down in time. He had to throw that one off balance with White's speed. And rare for Herbeck to not get leather on it.
It'll go as a single and an error charged to Gagne. Runners at first and third, Roberto Alomar, who's 1 for 4, takes strike 1. Mullenix is at third. White is at first base with 1 out. And there's a line drive to center field. It's a base hit. Mullenix will score. Stopping at second base is White, and it's now 9-3 in favor of the Twins. Tom Kelly out to the mound. Plenty of margin right now for the Twins, but Kelly doesn't want to see this snowball.
I think mainly he wanted to see how Bedrosian's fingers were. Did he feel all right? Was he able to throw the ball in the strike zone? The words of encouragement. You mentioned runs. Now the Blue Jays are generating some runs, but it's all tied into that early part of the ball game. The Minnesota team's a good example. Last year, they still had one of the better hitting teams in baseball, but their starting pitching fell behind so early in the game they could never recover. And that's what's happened to the Blue Jays tonight.
Runners are at first and second. Alomar with his first run batted in of this series. 1 out to Joe Carter, who's 0 for 4. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Plenty of base hits tonight. Twins have 13 and the Jays 11. Carter can do. He winces every time he swings that bat, and you wonder whether the Jays are better off if Carter doesn't feel better tomorrow not to play him.
Nothing worse than watching a fine athlete play at less than his ability. Bo Jackson, the tail end of the baseball season, was an example of that.
And Joe Carter strikes out for the 3rd time, and it's tough to see because he has been a bellwether of this ball club all season.
With a facial expression, trying to push off that back leg. Can't do it. I would expect to see, as you mentioned, Mullenix or a left-hand hitter in that DH role tomorrow.
2 down to John Olerud, who has a single in 4 trips. Runners at first and second. 9-3 the Minnesota Twins. 1 out away from opening up a 3-1 lead, and putting themselves within 1 game of the American League pennant. Olerud lines it right to Knobloch, and that'll do it. And the Minnesota Twins have won the first 2 games here at the Sky Dome, winning handily tonight by a score of 9-3. And now the Twins need only 1 victory to get to the World Series. And the final score is 9-3, and we'll return to the Sky Dome after this message and a word from your local station.
Okay, Ted, here's your orange juice. You wait here, and I'll go get your breakfast.
There's nothing like 100% pure Florida quality orange juice with the vitamins, minerals, and taste that make you feel so good.
How'd you do that?
100% pure Florida quality orange juice. It makes you feel so good.
We're putting some new choices on Wendy's Super Value menu, like our new Caesar side salad and Junior Cheeseburger Deluxe, 99 cents each. With what things cost, it's nice to get a break once in a while.
Now get 9 delicious choices for 99 cents each at Wendy's.
I used to have dandruff, so I tried Head & Shoulders. Then I tried Selsun Blue. Blue is better.
Selsun Blue relieves dandruff flaking better than Head & Shoulders, and doctors recommend it more than Head & Shoulders, Denorex, and Tegrin.
Blue is better.
Selsun Blue.
So, Jimmy, my man, you ever miss being a civilian?
You mean banging my head against the wall to get ahead? Going in hawk up to my eyeballs for the right house or the right car? No, I don't miss it.
Hey, that's great.
Yeah. Well, Maybe I missed the cars a little.
Relax. You're among friends. Levi's 100% cotton Dockers.
When you're all stuffed up and use an ordinary nasal spray, it drips into your tissue where it can't help you breathe. But not Sinex Ultrafine Mist. Its medicine stays where you need it, so you can breathe the way you want to. We don't drip down, we clear up.
No better way to face the day.
The morning belongs to Skin Bracer Aftershave. Its cool, brisk tingle really gets you going. And what a great scent. Skin Bracer.
No better way to face the day. Find it.
Aisle 2. It's for you.
Hello?
Mrs. Ward, this is TCM.
Yeah?
If you could change the way banks do business, what would you change?
Put them in more convenient places?
Such as?
Right here at Cub Foods. And then you could be open 7 days a week.
Thank you, Mrs. Ward. Oh, nice sweater.
Oh, thank you.
TCF, banking the way you want it.
The show that keeps you on the edge of your seat and prepares you to save lives. Over 65 lives saved and counting. Don't miss Rescue 911 Tuesday.
And the Chevrolet player of the game is Jack Morris. He's won 2 of the 3 games for the Twins in this series. And Chevrolet will donate $1,000 in his behalf to the Special Olympics. Right now, let's go down to the field and Leslie Visser. Les?
Dick, I'm with the gentleman who represents 6 of the Twins' 13 hits. First, Dan Gladden. Dan, tell us about your 3 hits tonight.
Well, one was an infield hit, and the other was a broken bat, two RBI hits. So, you know, it was one of those things that put the ball in play, and it picked us up a couple runs, gave us a little bit of a cushion.
And Kirby Puckett, big home run there. What kind of a shot was that?
Well, Leslie, as you know, I haven't been swinging the bat too well, and all I want to do against Stoudemire was get a pitch to hit. And I told myself I was going to stay back and try to make the ball come to me and just use my hands and let it go. And I was fortunate to hit it out of the park.
Well, it was pretty impressive. And let's not forget Jack Morris, who discovered the cure for the common cold must be 3 days rest. Dick?
All right, Leslie, I have to remember that. So, for Jim Cott and Leslie Visser, I'm Dick Stockton saying so long from the Sky Dome. Once again, the final score, the Twins 9 and the Blue Jays 3, and taking a 3-1 lead in the series. Tomorrow on CBS, it's the NFL on CBS. Most of you will see the Saints versus the Eagles, while others will see the Cardinals against the Vikings or the Falcons versus the 49ers. That starts with the NFL today at 12:30 Eastern. Also tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern for Game 5 of the American League Championship Series, when these same teams meet again, Twins and the Blue Jays, and the Twins with a chance to clinch the pennant. Then tomorrow night, prime time at 8 o'clock Eastern, starting with Baseball 91, it's Game 4 of the National League Championship Series between the Pirates and the Braves.
CBS Sports coverage of Game 4 of the 1991 American League Championship Series is brought to you by Chevrolet, the heartbeat of America, the cars more people depend on. Lennox, for quality heating and cooling, must be a Lennox. And by United Airlines, come fly the airline that spans more than half the world.
You've been watching Major League Baseball on CBS Sports, home of the biggest games in baseball, the League Championship Series and the World Series. And the Twins are 1 game away from the World Series. The Blue Jays have to regroup for Game 5 tomorrow night.
This unofficial moment in our national pastime is brought to you by the official airline of Major League Baseball, United. Come fly the friendly skies.
When you look for champions, you look to CBS Sports.
This is CBS.
Saturday night, Chili's Grill and Bar. My family and I decided to check out the menu. I was eyeing the old-timer with cheese, but decided on the baby back ribs instead. The kids ordered the fajitas and a chicken sandwich. My wife was enjoying the grilled tuna salad with ranch dressing. We were stuffed. So we dropped the curtain on a wonderful night.
Look, the neighbors just bought a new car, and we drive that old wreck. They
They went to Cancun. We went to your brothers in Poughkeepsie.
This Halloween, find monster game pieces in Pepsi products and Doritos brand tortilla chips. The right match can win you thousands of prizes, up to $1 million. Look for specially marked packages. It could change your life for good.
You never take out the garbage.
Play Pepsi Doritos Monster Match for monster money.
Frank!
Totino's Pizza.
Now's our chance.
William, what are you doing?
Trust me.
They'll try anything to get their Totino's Party Pizza.
Mad Dog! It worked.
Incredible.
Totino's, not too spicy, always crispy, always just right.
Just one more slice.
Bad Mom.
Some way, somehow, they're gonna get their Totino's.
Look, now in family size.
The world is full of little reasons why you need health coverage as good as Med Centers. Med Centers, dedicated to better health.
I'd rather die than withdraw. If they're going to kill me, they're going to kill me.
A second day of passionate testimony before the Senate Judiciary Committee as Clarence Thomas turns his defense into an attack. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mike Walsher.
And I'm Amy Marsalis. We'll have highlights of today's testimony, some news about the South Dakota woman pregnant with her own grandchildren, and a look at the dwindling number of choices for a plane ticket out of the Twin Cities. And we'll be back to Toronto to hear from Mark Rosen and Cindy Hilger about tonight's amazing victory in Toronto.
From WCCO Television, the community's first choice for news in the 90s. This is Mike Walsher.